Welcome everybody here to the top 5 plays of the week from Esports U. Clutch Key helping to bring you those top plays, so let's get things started. In Valorant, it's the Loyola Maryland Greyhounds taking on the Army West Point Black Knights, taken to map number 1 on Icebox, and the Greyhounds winning the pistol round, so it's looking good for them to go up 10-4, but with the Marshal, it's MIB Police from the Black Knights on the case.
At the same time, but that opportunity won't be afforded. Dsung, though, could turn this into a rifle, potentially more. MIB Police from the Raptors doing work with the Marshal and might even present a greater threat. Jumping down with the classic, turn into a right-click hero. A Marshal in hand, and MIB Police secures a 4K. Force round be damned.
A heroic play from MIB Police, but it would be the Black Knights taking Icebox and winning the series 2-0. Let's go to Rocket League with the St. Lawrence Saints and the Bengals of Buffalo State. Down by 1 in game number 3, and the Bengals are looking for that equalizer in the final minute of the game. Luckily, Jesco decides that, yeah, overtime is probably a good thing going into the last minute.
It's hard in order to even think about getting an insurance goal here.
Oh boy, it does feel like SLU as well, just trying to play survival mode. No, maybe they're thriving instead. A good bouncer from Elmo Fingers does get past one defender. Turks moving this across the width of the field. The pinch, finding the midfield here. Good catch from Jesco, putting a shot on target as well. Jesco!
Overtime, it would go in game number 3, and actually the Saints would win overtime, but as for the series, it would be all Buffalo State taking the dub 4-1. Overwatch 2 action with the Great Danes of Albany and the Spartans of UNC Greensboro. Third map on Havana, and the Great Danes want to cap first point in just under a minute. But Magix has a trick up their sleeve, and in fact, they might have more than one.
Out of here, they want to get that kill, and they're doing it. Jesse, they are doing it. Now Magix is back on the field. Lobs Nick's head. Oh my god. Showing Volks in the business end of that too. The payload is still being contested, and it's all... Oh my...
Not only is Magix One a sniper, but the Spartans had a one of their own in the form of a broom, as the Spartans would go on to win the series 3-0. To League of Legends, where the Polar Bears of Ohio Northern take on the Dukes of James Madison. 12th minute in game number 2, and the Polar Bears want their second dragon. On the Kiana, though, Shomi is about to show us what robbery on the Rift looks like.
Great rotation onto this. They got the first dragon. They are likely to pick up the second here, and the Shomi can somehow make this work.
Well, they're trying, and over the wall, they got a ward and said snipe. And the steal! The steal from Shomi said you only...
Dragon stolen, and even with the kill lead, the Polar Bears also got that stolen away. In the end, Dukes would come out with the dub 2-0. Let's head to Overwatch 2 action with the Aggies of Utah State taking on the Rams of Colorado State. Down a map on Nepal, and the Rams need to make some sort of comeback to force map 3. Well, a crazy team fight leads up to why Death Trap lives up to the tag.
You're going to be in a great position. And this Dragon Strike might be able to create some separation. But Cass is just taking heads.
Cass rolls the head of the finish right now. There's the Terror Search. Is he going to find anything is the question. Immortality View happened to be used. This Death Trap finds a triple. Oh my goodness. Death Trap finds a fourth. He's going to find the team kill. It's... Now the Rams would force map number 3, but the Aggies were too strong for the rest of the contest, and the Utah State Aggies get the sweep 3-0. To Summoner's Rift in League, where the Aztecs of San Diego State take on the Spartans of San Jose State. Game 1, and all the advantages to the Aztecs 30 minutes in, and Devour on the Caitlyn makes sure it stays that way to march to the base.
Half health. Actually, with the Chaos Storm dropped as well, that might be the go button as everyone follows the Rock, and it's not going to be enough off the outset. Goku shut down in the back line, and it's all falling apart for this fight that San Jose chose to take. The ADCs are all together. Piao picked up a kill on the backside. Tabula Rasa's surviving forever. Eventually,
the Aztecs would go on to win game number 1, but something clicks in the Spartans, and San Jose would win the 2-1. To Valorant with Andromeda taking on the University of Houston Scarlet team. Map number 2 on Fracture, and Andromeda wants to push A site, but Binko is sitting around the corner, and even with little to no utility, Binko just finds a way to make heads roll.
1-for-1 trade, make it 1-for-2 as Slorth takes down Altier, trying to trade for Orchid. Binko now trapped in a corner. They're shooting out the Prowlers, and there's not a lot of places that Binko can go, but now only Slorth being the one peeking. Oh, Binko! What was that?
Binko calls bingo on the ace, and it would be Houston who calls game on Fracture as they win the series 2-0.
To come through, it's just playing aimbot.
And that's it from Top Plays of the Week from Esports U. Thanks for watching, everybody, and until next time, this is Clutch Key signing off.
I can't say that. I'll get in trouble. There's one for each game, so teams this weekend, somebody's going to have to explain to TSA why they're coming home with an extra trophy. Fine. We're fine. This is going to be great. Why is everybody staring at me? I'm not even doing anything yet. Is it because I'm in a suit? It looks nice. It's new. I'm stressing. It's all right. We win these. We absolutely win these. I've never seen us lose these. I love him. I don't remember his name. What is going on, everybody? And oh, we're ready? I'll start over. Okay. What's going on, everybody? We are here at the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup 2022 in Atlanta, Georgia. The players are just now entering the arena for day one. A lot of them had the opportunity to be here yesterday to get jerseys, to get familiar with the area, and to get to know one another. But today, the friendly gloves have to come off, and they are all here. Earlier, I was talking to these guys. This mannequin, when they didn't have anything else set up, I could see it from all the way down there, and I thought it was a person. And I stood there for like 5 minutes, and I was like, why is he standing like that? And I thought it was like a smooth criminal. I thought somebody was giving us like a Michael Jackson impression, and then it was a mannequin. I was really embarrassed to admit that. Oh my God, that's a lot of people. Hold on, let's go over this window. It just keeps going. There's so many people outside. There are so many people outside. We're gonna interview people when they come in. I don't really want to go outside. It looks like it's gonna rain, and the suit is new, so. Oh, there's Doc Haskell. Hi, Doc. How are you? He brings a full notebook with him and like writes notes down. It was pretty insane. He had it yesterday. He's gonna be coming through this metal detector. I don't know his name though, but I recognize his hair.
Jen.
You're Jen? All right, we're gonna interview Jen, who's supporting Kennesaw. I'm gonna ask you like a couple of very simple questions. Okay. Are we ready? All right, great. College. I really like Georgia College's color scheme. It's just red, white, and blue, I think, but I think they did it in a really clever way. Mineral area wearing hoodies, even though it is 75 degrees outside here in Atlanta, Georgia. Absolute legends.
If only Nick could hear you. Nick, come back.
If he's over 100 feet away, he can't.
You were whispering something, and he started smiling. I'm like, are you whispering?
Oh yeah, because he's got his headphone in if we're close enough. But
Bless you.
Gesundheit. Gesundheit again. You're welcome. I'm gonna go find him. Oh, there he is. Oh my. Oh, okay. Real stuff is starting. Real stuff. Competitive integrity needs to be upheld. We gotta get out of here. Yeah, I don't want to get in trouble. I get really embarrassed when I get yelled at.
30 is
Okay. Wow, it's not 10:30 yet.
It's only like barely 10.
Woo! All right, it's gonna be a long. Hey, what's up? Surprise interview. Join me over here. We have a cool backdrop. What are we here for?
Rocket League.
Awesome. I'm not going to ask what school you go to because unless you swapped hoodies, that seems pretty clear.
Nope. You know, I got my jersey on with my name on it.
Oh, you do? Show us your jersey. Look at John T. Turbo here.
Yeah,
That's not his name. I just keep calling him that.
Yeah.
His name is John, but
my name is John Turbesi.
Yeah,
That's
not John T. Turbo.
Yeah, I get the message that I'm going to Nebraska where I met you.
Oh, that's so crazy. So context, if we're probably never going to use this, but I want to talk about it. Turbo and I met at a LAN like over a year ago. That's so crazy. What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup. I am Sebdolence, joined by a man I have interviewed probably well over 10 times. It's going to be my good friend Neb, here from Bay State Overwatch team. Neb looked at me before he started his last series, and he said, "We are not dropping a map for the rest of the day." And so far, he has lived up to that title. But Neb, is there anybody you're thinking, we've got to get them out of the way, we've got to take them down?
No.
No? Just looking at it, each fight's its own, every game, going into it, just taking it as it comes?
I have the confidence right now that we're not going to drop a single map.
I love Neb because not only is he confident, but he's correct. Bay State is one of the best Overwatch teams I've ever seen. So it's always good to hear. I love the confidence, and I love Bay State, so I hope they do a great job this weekend. So what qualifier, did you win a qualifier to get here?
At-large bid.
We're looking at Rocket League, we're thinking high odds, low odds, where do we think we're walking away?
I think pretty high. I think we're doing pretty good.
Is there anybody that you're looking at, you're like, please do not let us go up against them unless we absolutely have to?
I mean, really, everybody's good competition, so.
And sorry, what was your name?
Ethan.
Ethan from Mineral Area.
Yep.
Very exciting. Well, Ethan, good luck.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon. What kind of pass? A player pass?
Let me get you a lanyard.
No, you actually have to like tape it to your chest, like really awkwardly with masking tape. Okay. And it's gonna fall off. Yeah. It's gonna be uncomfortable, I promise. That's a guarantee. Okay, cut that, I'm gonna sneeze. Okay, good. I'm great, everything's good.
Who do we interview? Who should we interview?
I don't know, I'm just here. I need caffeine. What is going on, everybody, and welcome to the ECAC Top Plays of the Week. I am Sebdolence, and I'm super excited to walk through these with you so you can see all of the great moments we are getting out of collegiate esports. One of my favorite things about these seasons is as they go on, as the years continue to pass, the skill ceiling just gets higher and higher, and the teams get better and better. Starting things off in week 1 and 2, these teams came out the gate swinging. Let's take a look at what they were ready to bring out in these early weeks. Valorant is a game all about risk versus reward, and Sin from NYIT wanted to show us just how much he was willing to risk to get that great reward of a round win.
Sort of forced to pop off, maybe get a little bit more sniper play, but these direct, tight angles make it tough. You have Axorus that actually gets a wall bang headshot onto Prime. Oh, that timing on the paranoia works so well.
Yo, give it up for the Util, bro. Sin's gonna pick up 3 into the site. It's a lurk on its way from the chamber, but unless you're going to spam through this box, you're not getting anything done, and Panda won't even let him get that far.
Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is a game that can be decided in milliseconds, and Waka, one of the best players from SUNY Canton A Squad, wanted to show us just what they can do with only a second and a single stock on the board.
Cena, Sledge option going to be charging forward smash, going a little early. They're not quite getting what you want. Drop shield after first hit, and Pin getting hit by the kick. High percent. There is the stun into Claw. That Claw could have been charged for a lot longer. Oh my goodness, that's a forwarder into stage with the stage spike and then upping immediately after. What a sick.
1 point in Rocket League can never make a team feel comfortable, but Driftsy wanted to show us that not only was he going to pick the pace up, but he wasn't going to let his team down.
Defensive test with flying colors, though they couldn't get out, and that is the important part at the moment. Clears a must for UA, and it's just not in the cards at the moment.
Dripsy! Dripsy connects off the backboard! What a shot! I watched it unfold slowly. You stopped speaking at just the right moment.
Valorant is often called a team-based shooter, but sometimes it can't just be about the team. Sometimes you gotta have those hero plays. Spec wanted to spray and pray and was actually able to save the day for SVSU, tying up the series 7-7.
Hard B push here, 2 Omen smokes coming out. 1, oh, Spec just finds 3. What? Spraying through the smoke? Oh, what, Spec? That's not legal, man. That's not legal. This is match day 2 of the ECAC league. You can't be doing that right now. Spec just goes with the call.
Here in this clip, Fanshawe finds themselves with their backs against the wall, 20 seconds left on the clock, and they're desperate to take down Wake Forest. They don't have anything to get through this team, they don't have any weapons on the field, but with Jackie Moon in the wings, at least they had a sniper.
Apparently. Guys gonna believe all the shots. Oh, a sniper! Jackie Moon from about midway through. What a shot right here from Jackie.
Wow, good eye sniper. Yes, sir. Jackie Moon puts us on the right side. A little bit more to the left. This one would have been...
Here in this clip, we're going to get a great moment from a Pac-Man, and as a Pac-Man player, I was super excited to see it. We're going to hear a lot of praise from our commentators giving Mosey those compliments of choosing Snake against Pac-Man, a great counter pick. They were super excited to see a Snake on the field, but even without their blessing, Trollery does not yield.
Approach, but like you said, he's trying to play this safe because losing a stock right now for Concord would be really bad, and, well, no! A little bit of commentator's curse there. So we kind of
We're at the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup. Let's make some noise.
Oh, and it's gonna jumped into it. Corner judges good for 1, 2, dip. He needs more.
They're doing even more here. You gotta touch the point. Mr. Collins walks it in.
Toy Boy is gonna drop.
Knife him.
Right out front.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1, running.
Hello everyone and welcome to round 1 of the ECAC Overwatch 2 playoffs. My name is Sam Tonks. Joining me is Jag. Now Jag, we have an amazing game tonight. University of Delaware going up against University of Albany. And there's a little bit of history, a little bit of a rivalry going on between these two teams.
Yeah, absolutely. Number 4 and number 5 going at it. You could say these two teams are destined to do this forever because they have played each other quite a bit in the last year or so. We go back to fall 2022, and that is Delaware knocking out Albany in the playoffs. Then spring 2023, Albany gets their revenge, knocks out Delaware. And then even in the regular season here, they were playing each other in week 3. That was Albany winning that 3-2 against Delaware. All of these matches going the full distance. They're seeds that are so close to. They're only 1 seed apart, but even if one team survives this battle, which one will, as is the rule of Overwatch, they have such a test next week. I'm not sure who's going to be able to make it out of that.
Yeah, because not only are they going up against the best team in this conference, they're going up against one of the best teams in collegiate Overwatch, with that being Ball State Red, currently undefeated right now. And they've been up against some amazing teams themselves. So whoever wins here, like you said, they are going to have one heck of a matchup next week. But we still have to get through this one. And like you said, probably going to go the entire distance, 3-2. I wouldn't expect any difference from this playoffs. A lot on the line here, obviously. So with that being said, our first map of the evening, we're going to be going to the Great Lijiang Tower.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great way to start off. I think this is probably one of the best control maps in the game. This is a great way to kind of set the pace. Control can be kind of that weird game mode where a team that might not win the series is able to get an advantage here because of how chaotic this game mode is. I mean, you're basically just running at each other the entire time over that neutral objective, but it's also where you get to see a lot of strategy come out early because those sub maps, they vary so much. I mean, Day Market, Symmetra TP used to be the way to go. You teleport straight out of the spawn area into the point objective, and then you'd fight out there. Now we see teams kind of ignore that. They usually play for that center area first before they go to the point. Control Center has always been just two teams running at each other in the server room. And we know how Gardens is. You just try to not get booped right off the map immediately with something like a Pharah or a Lucio just sprinting their way out of spawn. So there's so many opportunities. And with a game that we expect to go the full distance, being able to take that first game in the series will give you an advantage later on. Potentially, we'll be able to pick the map later if you do lose, 2 maps in a row near the end. So there is so much at stake in this early going, but it will be Gardens to start things off here. Very exciting indeed. We'll have to see how these comps differentiate. Already we're seeing similar support lineups, but besides that Tracer, a few differences across the board.
The key being, I think, the tanks here with Ski on the Wrecking Ball, Rice Viz on the Winston. And then 2, we take a look at our DPS players, Sumerian and Carter. We have a Sombra, which is actually going to be very useful in the impact against Ski. And this Wrecking Ball, Oh, they're hanging out by a literal thread right now, Jack. There's only one way this ball can go, and that's right into the sink. Steph giving us that early game boop. Drawing first blood, not only in this map, but in this series, and that's going to be easy for Delaware to take control of this point first.
There might actually be time for them to recontest this. Maybe not. You're actually seeing them swap off the Wrecking Ball completely going to the Jumper Queen, so never mind there. Carter seemed to have this red immediately. They do go for that Sombra, which should hack the ball. They don't even need that. As you said, it was the Lucio that actually displaces them. But now with this Jumper Queen, they're not going to be running around. They're just going to be running right into them. And you see already, they're taking possession of the point.
Yeah, look at how lightning quick they got onto there. Speaking of lightning, Rice Viz trying to put that Tesla cannon to good use, but it's Carter who's getting right into the face with that hack over and over again. Ski can't really go anywhere, do very much. Carter's going to translocate out, pick up the Mega Pack before we look over to TVD, man. The Tracer duel and the battle that's happening between themselves and Llama is going to be one to pay attention. The recall has been activated, and a Kitsune rush already by University of Delaware Sully. University of Albany, they're struggling. They do get control of the point, but for not too much longer, neither team really has been able to find anything. This is actually ideal for Albany. They're just playing the poking game, and now they're winning out in the picking game.
Yeah, this is huge for them. They get an ultimate out, and they get possession of the point before this fight even starts. They're getting these last-minute scraps that are going to set Delaware back quite a bit now. They got to reset as they lose TBD, man, so that's another few seconds off the clock. Now they're building up ults of their own. This is a disaster for Delaware. Sure, they will have a few ultimates going into this, but the fact that they give up the point for free without ever having this fight, I mean, you see Albany, they're already 50% to completing this sub-map.
And it was a really rough first go, but Albany really only lost Ski in that initial team fight. And then from that point on, they've just been running away with it. Now they have 4 ultimates to work with. So much in the pocket, a good stick happens. But the sound barrier does come in just in time from Steph. Now we're seeing a back and forth ultimate game going on here. TVD's man's Pulse Bomb comes up with something a little bit bigger. A Tactical Visor Sumerian falls to them. Now we're gonna see if Ski gonna put the pressure right back over onto Rice Viz. Nary a little bit of a health bar left that's been taken away from them. University of Albany really wanting to set the statement here on Lijiang Tower that these playoffs are gonna be theirs.
Yeah, they're running away with this a little bit. However, the EMP comes in. It's going to hit a bunch, but immediately Sully again, trades on trades. The tank is still alive. Ski still has the Jugger Queen engaged with the ultimate. They don't have possession of the point. They do have the Cat. They do have as well ultimates. That's going to be 2. But again, the Kitsune Rush. The Kariko that use it, they're going to fall.
That Kitsune Rush has kind of just been a death sentence It's kind of been the, here, we're gonna put this out, now we're all dead. You're trying desperately to keep Ski alive. They're able to shout off just in time. But again, the pulse bombs from TVD, man. Master World wasn't ready for it at all. Blown right back into the spawn room. Now we're stuck into overtime. University of Albany, they're trying their best. But whatever they have left in the tank might be slowly running away. Delaware should be able to get control at this point. Riceface being the lossier. Ski somehow still surviving throughout everything. But a great way to start this first round. A little Charlie Niner, Jag.
They see nines. Oh no, not like this. Not in a match this important. They were winning that fight. They got ultimates out of Albany. I mean, Albany, they used Storm Eagle's Kitsune Rush. They immediately used the Junker Queen ultimate. After that, they were up. I think it was like 4-2 advantage there. And they just don't touch the objective. They're so focused on those eliminations. All it takes is a split second to leave. After that much overtime, it just immediately dwindles down. The clock is not on your side in there, even though they win that first fight, Delaware. Even though Delaware gets the first capture, Ski just goes on to the point. This Giga Chat with the Junker Queen and never gives it back.
I don't know how Ski didn't die that entire instance. Now Albany, Ski goes back onto the Wrecking Ball. This time doesn't have to worry about getting booped off or any annoying Sombra to hack them out of it. How that's going to handle up against Riceviz's Reinhardt, though, is going to be the question for the ages. We're seeing Llama getting laser beamed, trying to even attempt to get it in onto the site. This Metra Carter is just proving to be a little too much for them. Now Ski looking for any opportunities, but the opportunities has slipped through their fingers. Now Delaware in control of the point once again.
Another very early fight win, another early capture. This time they go to the Symmetra comp that I said most teams weren't running, but right now Delaware said, hey, we don't care, we're old school, we're gonna run this and we're gonna win with it from the beginning at least. Ski though, this time actually not swapping off of the Wrecking Ball. However, they did swap off of the Echo. You saw that Echo fly and immediately get melted. Now they're gonna try to just separate the team. However, they might be the ones being separated.
Oh, already disastrous with Steph being taken out. This is not going to be good. The speed Delaware has lost is going to cost them greatly, and a beautiful boop from Ski. And just like this is like a sense of deja vu, Jag, where Albany didn't win out in the first team fight, didn't get control of the point first. Now they have it again in the second team fight.
At least they give up less percentage before the fight was over. You know, last time Albany just walked on and took it for free. This time Delaware, they held on to it for quite a bit of time, but they get separated there. They had the Symmetra teleport. They think that's going to be their saving grace, so they can just walk out altogether, but instead Ski has continued to just be a menace. This time is going to have to feel a little bit finessing with that, and now they're going to have to walk into the Symmetra ultimate, but already they found two.
Already two. Both of the DPS coming up big. Riceviz stuck in the corner. The photon barrier might give them some breathing room to engage in onto the point, but Sumerians, Helix Rockets, they popped their tactical visor, but weren't able to get anything out of it. A quick TP around over towards the back of sight gives a lot of opportunities, but once again, those opportunities go right down into the ground, and Ski crushing Steph into a pancake. Albany is holding on for dear life, and they're doing a really great job at it.
Yeah, and it seems like the Soldiers had this issue. Actually, this happened last map too, where they used the visor and immediately were taking down. Wasn't too much of an issue last time around. We'll have to see though, as these alt banks are going to be much more even as they go into the second fight. As you see, Shatter could be huge if they're able to land, especially onto Astrid. If they're able to take them out before they can use their sound bearer, might just hack them out and focus them down, but they will use the translocation to get out.
Oh, unless they get caught by Sumerian, they just ran them and gunned them down. Now Albany's popping every single ultimate in the book. Both support ultimates use the barrier, the Kitsune Rush, all in work of getting rid of Delaware out of here. And Ski so far has literally been living up to the name of Wrecking Ball, wrecking right through Delaware.
Ski Ball basically just rolling in, hitting everyone down, getting all the points, setting up their team for success. And the big thing there was that Delaware, they had a lot to use, but now they have no time to use it. That Earth Shadow that I said could be huge. We'll even see it be out and about. There is going to be a Deadeye popped, but there's no target to hit, and it's going to be a Dragon Strike as the counter.
We are brought into overtime. Round two, the Earth Shatter goes in, but nobody caught inside of it. It may have been a little bit of over-eagerness from Riceviz. Albany's having the time of their lives. Now we throw down the minefield. Riceviz has to charge their way through into it. Wants to get Ski off of the side, but Ski has other plans. Instead, we get right back into the face of Riceviz. get rid of Steph. Last call there. Overtime drains away, and Albany in a 2-0 fashion here on Lijiang Tower is already showing us what they're made of in these playoffs.
I've got to say, a bit more of a one-sided affair than we expected. Now, I will give Albany some credit. In their last 2 matchups, they were the victors, but again, we have to remind the audience, these were 3-2s. I was expecting this to at least go to that third sub-map, 100 to 99, something really close like that. It seems like Albany has kind of ran away with this. They lost the first fight on both points, and yet they still end up winning by a huge margin. That is very irregular. Usually the team that captures first has a very large odds to just take the whole sub-map. So the fact that they basically lose that first map, they don't usually get full eliminated. I think that might be part of it. Usually when they lose 1 or 2 people, they just back up, which means that that respawn time isn't nearly as long. But once they have a shorter respawn time, they swap something up. Before it was the Junker Queen. This time it was just going to that Hanzo. So less eye in the sky with the Echo, more on the ground poke damage. And from there, they just roll around, run right into them. Whatever you want to do with this tank that Ski has been playing, and they are just executing it to perfection.
Yeah, Jag, it's a very simple strategy that Albany seems to have whipped out of the playbook. Let's just roll them over. Let's run them down. Let's not give them any chance to think. Sumerian being able to catch out a Sombra just like that, taking away a lot of the pressure, prevent them from building up to a vital EMP that they could have used to potentially have won that last team fight. You've just ruined a lot of the plans that Delaware were setting themselves up for. And, when we think about it, right, we see that 3-2 scoreline that's happened not once, but twice so far. These two teams have been really cutting their teeth against each other. But to have a sort of a blowout first map really makes you wonder what the second map is going to be looking like, because this is going to be the choice of Delaware. Meanwhile, Albany will get to pick the side that they attack or defend with. So Delaware, we get kind of an idea of what they might like to play. And if we're going into hybrid, I think we already know what it potentially could be. It's going to be everyone's fan favorite of Kings Row, would be my guess. But, with the way that we saw them play, they did like that Reinhardt choice. We also saw the Winston. So there's a lot of different opportunities here, I think, for Delaware with the hybrid map, but I'm feeling Kings Row.
Yeah, I agree that I think Kings Row seems very likely, considering that they did bring out the Reinhardt composition on Day Market. They've seen the Wrecking Ball. They've seen that they cannot really beat it at this time. So I feel like you want to go to a very unfriendly map for Wrecking Ball, which would be Kings Row. There it is. There we go. Analysis has been big-brained once again. You're welcome, audience. But, this makes sense, right? Like, you tried to counter-strat in the last map. We saw that they played a lot of Sombra into the Wrecking Ball. Did not seem to work. So instead of trying to counter-strat, you are the one bringing out your own strategy here. You're going to run that Reinhardt. We'll probably see the classic Mei, because you have that wall that really cuts off teams at checkpoints. You can cut off their tank, or maybe a Squishy and just kind of focus them down. Usually partnered with either a Cassidy or a Reaper, one of those really high burst, high sustain heroes that you got on your side that can also usually have some movement speed on their own side, so they can get out of sticky situations. That's kind of what I'm expecting to go with, but who knows? I think here, if you're Albany, you got to think, like, do we try to run the Junker Queen again? Honestly, Junker Queen into Reinhardt isn't the best matchup. It also isn't the worst if you can kind of run around them. You don't have that shield to help you per se, but you do have that knife that will heal you. You've got the rally or the shout that will help heal up your teammates and give them that temporary shield. So there's a lot of kind of movement as well as just aggressive tendencies you can do. And so far, Albany has been the aggressor the entire time. It seems like they are initiating basically every single fight.
Yeah, the initiation was also backed up, though. That's the most important thing. When you want to go together as a team, when you want to go in for these fights, you really have, it's that pivotal moment where you have to watch out for each other's back, and that's exactly what they were able to do time and time again. And of course, Ski was just having a really great Lijiang Tower. So we look at the lineup for University of Albany. Ski on the Ramatra. Now, Llama wanting to break down the shields fast on this Bastion.
And this makes a lot of sense. Ski will not be going with the Junker Queen, instead going with the Ramatra. You do have that projected shield, but it only lasts temporarily. So really, you're going to be trying to create space with that shield and then just burst them down. It's not going to be the Bastion at the end of the day. It's going to be the Hanzo, another great, though, bursty shield breaker. Ramatra just does so much poke damage with their primary fire. Soldier, you're just spraying and praying basically with him. Or they're going to use that shield to try to create some separation again.
Sumerian wants to go towards this high ground position, really put the pressure from up above. gonna be skirted away for just a moment, but still the fight happening on top of the statue. There's Storm Eagle getting hit with a magnetic grenade, then finished off by the fire strike from RiceViz, and already Albany's running into some issues, not able to find much room to get past this statue, but maybe that ice wall. We see it happening time over and over and over again, just how much trouble that can give these tanks.
Yeah, absolutely. This is what I was talking about just a moment ago. This wall can be so devastating, especially if you don't have any movement ability that can either just let you climb it up, like Hanzo. If you don't have any way to get around it, you're kind of just done for. You're gonna go back to spawn. There was a very important pick, I will say. It looks like Delaware lost their Baptiste. It looks like now they're escorting them back. So this is actually a great chance for Albany to take positioning, and that's exactly what they've done.
Yeah, Sumerian's still in the backline though. DVD man was wanting to get rid of them. They tried their best, but Sumerian's proving to be just a really thorn in the side for Delaware. Now they've set themselves up in such a beautiful position. Anywhere they tend to go is going to be so much pain. And they even Delaware used the amplification matrix, but Sumerian right above their heads is going to be an easy point A for Albany.
Hey, there is a chance for recontest, but losing the maze so late, I think you're just going to play for positioning on the point, probably set up in this archway, and that's so unfortunate. Delaware won that first fight handedly, but because they lost their primary healer, because they had to rotate back to get them, they gave up such important positioning on the point that allowed Albany just to run back in. TBD, man, might be able to get a cheeky little flank here, maybe take out the Zenyatta, but you gotta think, winning that first fight, you think you'd be able to defend for a little bit longer. Instead, they might get that pick there, but they're now facing a 4.5-minute time bank that they have to defend against.
And look at how much difficulties they're going to have to get back and regroup with the team. Needs to win out against Storm Eagle. You make them use the Immortality Field. Trying to shoot that down just leads you to getting shot down. University of Albany now one up in the man advantage is going to be able to continue to push forward that very pivotal archway.
There's going to be a swap now to Arista. That archway has been given up too as that swap comes through. So this is not great for Delaware. They're getting pushed back further and further. They are not having great map control in Delaware. They might have that ice wall, but they still don't have a lot of ultimacies. All they really have are their DPS. Albany, meanwhile, it's going to have everything, including that Transcendence coming up very briefly. So no matter what Delaware tries to throw at them, like this, I mean, that Transcendence, it's about to come out. There it is. And I'm not sure if they can really do much off this.
Oh, and even through that, the Llama Dragon Strike comes in. Now a Tactical Visor. The aimbot is activated. Throw that in with the Annihilation. Pretty much Albany using everything to win out in this team fight. They really wanted to go all of the way, but still Delaware has time to regroup. Another questionable use of the amplification matrix by Sully, and I think Albany, this should be relatively simple for them to take.
Potentially, I think there will actually be a recontest, as you see that Delaware, if they do have the closer spawn now, so they should be able to take this back, depending on if Albany gets back. I think the big thing for Delaware is you realize, hey, we might have lost that fight, but Albany just used like basically everything except the Zam Matrix. The Zam Matrix undoes them, then it's pretty bad. But if they're able to just kind of kite this, walk it out, maybe get something of the Deadeye, nope, never mind. It's still winnable though with this Orisa ultimate.
It is. The Terra Surge is activated. The Immortality Field used, but right through it. Storm Eagle wanted to stay in there. A lot of damage from Llama. He's going to put RiceViz away for the moment. Now looking towards the backline, seeing if they can get the juicy target of Sully. No more Ana healing. A lot of that has been taken away, and Llama is just all bullseyes to them.
You know, I don't know what speech Albany was given before this game started, but they are starting to run away with this map and potentially take that 2-0 lead. Obviously, Delaware, they have still not had their own attacking round, but 3:45 going into this third point, that is a lot of time to work with. They still have a Dragon Strike. Like, they used 4 ultimates in the last fight, and they're about to approach 3. They are cycling ultimates where it doesn't even matter that they're using too many in a fight. They're getting them back so quickly and so dominantly, they just continue to push through.
Oh, look at that. Starting off a team fight using the Dragon Strike. Another blizzard has happened. Ski being taken out of the field could potentially throw some issues into this. A really good sleep from Sully. Sumerian just was none the wiser in the middle of their nap that they're gone. Now Delaware, finally, a chance to breathe, rebuking the attempt from Albany at getting this payload any further.
Absolutely needed here. They need to hold on this corner. This is such good natural cover and great positioning. They didn't have that map control basically the entire second point. So now that they're finally able to take some back, this is where they need to stabilize, take some fight wins. They have a nano that can bail someone out if they get too weak. It would give them extra damage as well as give them reduced damage incoming to them. So potentially could you throw it onto RiceViz when they need their tank at most. Carter's now swapped to the Sojourn. So they're making some swaps. And Albany, they're still going to be walking in potentially with this Ramacher ultimate.
Yeah, there it is. Annihilation. Another sleep, though. Sully may have just saved the day here for Delaware. Taking Ski out of their Annihilation, a lot of pressure as well from that. And a really good acknowledgement of the tactical visor from Sumerian as they just hide inside a back sight, not giving them any opportunity to use it. Delaware, in a really smart move, took away a lot of the strings of Albany. Astroworld wants to try and keep the team going with that Transcendence, and now we have the Soldier 76 duel of the ages, but Sumerian, rather than wanting to chase down TBD, man, looks like they want to give up the attempt at making this happen, but now the tactical visor popped immediately. No need to worry about this Transcendence. This is huge. TBD, man, can find another opportunity, but that has been taken away from them. Sumerian now looking towards the back line, but Delaware strong. Now they found their footing, and it seems like they are righting the wrongs that Albany has been giving to them.
You know what's crazy about all of this? I'm like 95% sure that Steph got Boostio'd. They got the Nano, and then they fell. So that was a trade right at the very beginning. That Nano was down, and yet TBD, man, just being able to run around, avoid the fire from their counterpart, Sumerian, and just being able to stay alive, get that visor. Yeah, they fell, but that one initial pick, again, is helping Delaware stay in this. If they're able to go blow for blow with this much closer spawn, they can keep winning, and there's Astroworld being taken out.
That was a really good javelin onto Astroworld. TBD, man, Helix Rockets obviously being the deciding factor there. RiceBiz is having a fantastic hit percentage with these javelins. You're able to just gun down Llama. Now Albany only has a minute left to get this payload to the finish line.
What a hold. 3 minutes gone, but you know what else is gone? That sound barrier. That would be critical against something like a Graviton Surge or even a Dragon Strike. The defensive vault is not going to be there for Delaware. They will have a Terror Surge, they will have an Overclock, so they do have ults. The Nano's back as well, so, you know, Nano Overclock could be huge. Ooh. But I gotta question Delaware a little bit, being a little bit too overeager with that defensive ultimate. They could regret that later on, but they are gonna go straight in with the Nano.
Oh, you've taken out Ski. Humongous. Now the Immortality Field. Nothing left in the tank. A Nano boosted Orisa in your face. Just walking and pressing W. It looks like Delaware wants to respect that, however. Give up that space and don't push the issue any more than they need to.
Not a clean fight win. They only get once. There will be at least one last fight. However, Albany, all they have is the tactical visor unlocked. Everything else is still a few ticks behind. Ski has to get the Graviton Surge, has to stay alive. That is basically their win condition at this point. Or at least take out the Soldier and get rid of that Overclock, because if that Overclock hits, it could be nasty.
It's the tactical visor Overclock combo, something you're really not expecting, but Sumerian's gonna use the tactical visor of their own. Once again, denied a lot of that until they spot TBD, man. Wanted to take a little bit of a stroll towards the point. Not gonna be strolling anymore. Now the amplification matrix has been used, and there it is. The Graviton Surge. Steph caught inside of this vortexing black hole. Now seeing a easy Ana all by themselves. Albany in this very pivotal final team fight inside of overtime. This could be RiceBiz's chance. No, the Nano Boost is not gonna find anything. Sully all by themselves can't stand up to the pressure of Albany. Steph doing a fantastic job at holding things out, but man, you got to think of what could have happened had they held on to that sound barrier for this final team fight.
Yeah, and even though that Graviton Surge only hits one, it's on to Steph, and they go tactically for that healer. They want to take that healing offline. They want to take that boot potential offline to make sure that no one gets knocked off the map. It's very targeted, it's very sound, and it's very well played. Still, I mean, on the other side, you know, if we're going to be a little critical of Delaware's gameplay there at the end, you got to also give them a bit of praise because they still held out for 3 minutes and 45 seconds. That was a very long hold to get it into overtime. Sure, that full cap is eventually given up, but it sets up some amazing situations for themselves with extra rounds. If they're able to complete the map with under a minute, then both teams will get time to at least a minute more, potentially to recontest and go again. But if they can finish it with more than a minute, that's a huge advantage. They can outright win the map where Albany would only be able to draw it. So there's a lot of scenarios that they've set up for themselves potentially because of this amazing hold. But can they actually get it all the way to the end? We're gonna have to see as they're going back to the Reinhardt, something that was successful for about one fight, and that's about it.
Yeah, it was a lot. Albany's target priority is so important to this conversation when they're taking on this Reinhardt composition. Who do we want to go for, and how do we want to execute onto that? And Delaware, it was like you said, they had a really good first team fight with that Reinhardt, but you really got to think about it too. Maybe it was Carter's May, that ice wall that sets up a lot of potential there. in and of itself. Carter back over onto the Symmetra wants to use the TP, get through this, but Albany realizing that, oh hey, it's just a Zarya, maybe we can go in onto this. And look at how much space they've already gained. Ignored the statue completely, hit with the anti-nade. Riceface needs to back away over toward the hotel. It's Marion again on this high ground position, spots out TVD, man. A little too far isolated from the rest of the team. That's gonna be easy pick'ems for them.
And I saw this TP Bastion strat. I thought they were gonna just TP the Bastion onto the statue and have him free fire from the top of it. Instead, they try to take positioning, which, I mean, live Orion, sure, why not? But they're not clearing the high ground. They're not giving themselves really a chance for this Bastion to be able to do work. And this is a strategy that I actually used to do when I was in college, the Bastion strat. Just TP them up. It's immediate first point take. No one expects it. Overwatch 2, I mean, if you got something to protect that Bastion like a Sigma, it's easy pickings, but instead, they're getting cut off. They're losing the first fight. No one fell on the side of Albany, so there's no chance to stagger them out like Albany did themselves on their attack.
We've got a lot of switches happening for Delaware. We're really only one TVD man on this. Reaper wants to get right into the face of Ski. Might have been able to actually get the kill, and they're still going to be able to do it. Unbelievable work. The switch from TVD man to the Reaper was just the medicine that Delaware needed to take to send Albany packing and going to be able to get themselves the point.
There's no burst damage on the side of Albany, so Reaper is basically free to just do what they do. Run in, Wraith out when they get weak, get some heals, and then go back on the tank. Be that tank burster that we all know and love. Llama might be able to get some headshots here and there, but in general, I'm actually a bit worried for Albany now after this swap has come out. This will be... Yeah, it's going to be a teleport. They're just going to keep going in. I mean, Delaware, they're just like, why not?
Yeah, they just want to push. Make sure they don't take the archway. If we can take that away from them, a lot could be gained here, especially with this amplification matrix. A lot of healing is going to have to come through, but it turns out to be Albany's downfall. This one window, the window of death. Delaware looking really clean right now.
And this is something that we had talked about on Lijiang, was that Albany was taking all the fights, but now you're seeing Delaware really able to take those aggressive fights themselves. They are getting enabled by this Reaper, by this Symmetra as well, the teleporter. They are just, you know, they are taking space away from Albany when they want to defend, and they are immediately just going in. Delaware, they're going to have quite a few ultimates to use here. Earth Shatter, Death Blossom, Photon Barrier. They have so much to work with. And it looks like TBD Man's trying to be a bit sneaky.
This might be perfect for them. If they can get Astroworld's Lucio first, in goes! That's what we wanted! The Death Blossom has bloomed, and it's coming up big. You've taken out both of the supports for Albany. Delaware has nothing. They were able to get off the nano boost just in time on a ski, but it's not going to make a lick of difference for them. That was a beautifully executed ultimate from TVD Man, and that ultimate has given Delaware point B.
I think they heard us. I think they said, hey, we hear you talking about their 10 bank, so we're just gonna, you know, make it almost 5 minutes going to the third point, show them up a little bit, and try to run away with this map. We saw how hard it was for Albany to get any real movement here on this third point. As defenders now, they have a lot to work with. 4 ultimates, as well as this Reinhardt kind of zoned out. Not able to take them down yet, but they are going to throw in the Blizzard.
They threw in the Blizzard and the Earth Shatter and the Sound Barrier. 3 ultimates for one team fight that they're going to win out on. But you really got to think about the future for what Delaware is going to be able to bring. But unfortunately, it's the same thing that keeps happening over and over again here, Jag. Steph used their own Sound Barrier, so now they won't have it going into the next team fight.
I think that Earth Shatter used by Ski was used to try to cancel Ricefiz's charge. I'm not saying it was necessarily needed there, but I do understand the kind of tactical idea of like we're going to wipe them completely and make them reset. But it was, again, an overcommitment, something that we've kind of seen with a team that is maybe not in the best scenario, the team that's trying to bounce back in. However, Ricefiz immediately going to take one, but it's a trade.
It is a trade. Astroworld's gone, though. Look at where this Reinhardt can go without their Lucio. Nowhere. It's just into Delaware's waiting arms, and they're going to squeeze him right to death. Now Delaware gets all of the space to work with.
All that space. I mean, Soli has really stepped up, I think, with these amplification matrix. They have created a lot of space, created a lot of damage for the rest of the University of Delaware's squad. And as you see, they are winning fights when they do that now. Albany, they're going to go for a Bastion themselves, and here comes the tank.
Oh, there it is. That got scary for Ricefish, just charging right into the turret form. Bastion. TVD Man in the back line is going to come up with a lot of work, and that Earth Shatter is setting things up for TVD Man to be the Reaper, to go and kill everyone with the help of Carter and Riceviz. A team kill happens here for Delaware, and looking very likely like they might be able to get to this finish line.
Don't fear the Reaper, fear this man. He just outplayed a tactical visor with his Wraith form to completely take away any chance Albany had on defending the rest of this map. Now they're just in the spawn, Death Blossom and all, not even using it. And this is going to be a capture. Maybe not immediately, but with this Death Blossom, should be pretty soon.
They stuck it too! Carter stuck the Pulse Bomb onto Ski in the middle of the Death Blossom. That's just doing them dirty, Delaware. But Jag, look at that time limit, 2 minutes and 42 seconds. We were kind of scratching our head. Where's the fight from Delaware? Well, here it is.
Oh, that's a lot of fight. And I was just talking about this right at halftime, right before the side swapped. If Delaware is able to capture more than a minute, they automatically just get the potential to win. I mean, at best, Albany, they can only draw. They get no second chance. They get no second attack. Delaware has now completely flipped the momentum. They are in the driver's seat. And that's a lot of time. 242 for one tick. It's not even the full point. It is one tick. That is all they need to win, 33%. So one team fight win, and they've got it done. And they don't have to run into this. They don't have to, like, scramble. They can lose 2 to 3 fights, I think, here, approximately, depending on, you know, how long they go on. They can build up a very nice ult bank and just run away with this map and tie up the series. So it is all in their core right now. Delaware, what you got for us? Can you bring it to 1-1? They're going to go back to the bread and butter that worked so well there. Rice is on the Reinhardt. Steph on the Lucio, just speeding them through. TVD man probably going to swap off the Widow after trying to go for maybe a cheeky little play right off the beginning. But after that, I'm assuming that Reaper is going to come back out.
I'm assuming it too. TVD man's not going to find much heads. But 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Albany needs to play to absolute perfection for that long. One lost team fight, and it's over. Right into it, though. Ski wants to hit the pile driver, try to find the disruption. It looks like it's going to work just for the moment. TVD man rejoining the team on this Reaper. Gets the TP up onto the high ground. Wants to get right in Sumerian's face. They've already lost their tank and not looking too good. They need to get back. The Wraith form has been used, but can they get out is going to be the question. The Immortality Field might just give them that little bit of a boost there, but Albany holding off for now.
And one thing I have to mention is that no matter what, we're going to a 4th map, no matter how this one ends, because Albany cannot win it. So that's something to consider for Delaware, and they're like, hey, like, we do not want to leave this map empty. Sure, we lose this first fight. Now we're going to make the adjustments that we think are necessary. No more Reinhardt. We're going to go to the Winston. Kirigu comes online as well, too, for that. I'm assuming Suzu to have mortality for just a brief moment. Maybe match the Cassini rush on the other side as well. Also, going to this the Sombra. So we've seen this before. They've tried to counter out Ski with it, but haven't found much success, honestly.
Oh, TVD man was kind of bait there. It looked like they were going to be able to knock him right into Sumerian, but the Wraith form brings him back over. And the readjustment from Delaware, Carter, to get right on top of them and get rid of them was beautiful. Now we're seeing this Winston wanting to dive on top of Llama, the Torbjorn who's lost their turret, and it's looking like that might be possible here with a little bit of health left. Carter is going to be the one to take them out. They've already gotten rid of Astroworld too. Things are looking grim for Albany. The numbers are not in their favor. And this Kitsune rush should be good enough for Delaware to secure the rest of this point and get that just one little bit of a tick that they need. The minefield could slow things out here for a little bit longer, but Carter Sombra is being the deciding factor for University of Delaware to be able to take the map of Kings Row. And now we have a series on our hand, Jag, for these ECAC 2023 quarterfinals.
We're guaranteed to at least go to push, but I'm expecting a lot more. I said last map did not feel like the series we were expecting. This one, although definitely in favor of Delaware at the end of the day, a lot more back and forth, a lot more aggressive from Delaware, and I think that was kind of the big difference maker here. You could finally see them find their footing, finally be able to take it to them with the Reinhardt just as they wanted to, which makes sense on a map like Kings Row, as we talked about a lot. This is a map we expect to see a lot of Rhine on. It makes a lot of sense why they did this, but I think most importantly, their defense, that defensive hold on 3rd point, when they finally were able to get things going in gear, that's when you could kind of see the switch was flipped. That's where it seemed like everything was finally going into their favor. They made those swaps that were necessary. They did give up the final capture at the very end, but they didn't give up any time to allow Albany to get a recontest on the attack, and that's the most important thing. No time in the bank, no chance for them to go up 2-0 in the series. And now as we go to what will be an escort map, I gotta wonder what Albany is thinking here. You saw that the Rhine v Rhine matchup did not go your favor, just as we saw before. The Wrecking Ball matchup did not go in Delaware's favor, so there's going to be a lot of potential choices here on escort. One thing we haven't seen at all just yet is more of a long-range CPS duel, which is why I usually like to talk about Circuit Royale and like how I think teams that like to play the Widowmaker might try to go there. But with no Sigma, no real Widowmaker play outside of a little bit here and there at the beginning of King's Row, I'm not sure if Circuit Royale is going to be the pick.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I'm feeling with the way that Albany likes to play this. When we look at Ski especially, the tanks that they choose, Wrecking Ball has been at the top of the list every single time, almost every single time at the very least. And so I might be inclined to maybe think some Dorado could be in the mix as well. Not a lot of long sight lines that you can abuse, but yeah, there it is. It's going to be Dorado. And I feel like that's kind of the map that they wanted to go for, a map that they can really use this Wrecking Ball, a lot of high ground. And what has Delaware been suffering with so far when it comes to the success of these matchups that we saw, especially on Lijiang Tower? It's going up against Ski's Wrecking Ball. The Reinhardt is really good, and we saw that on King's Row, but when Ski is able to sort of manipulate things and has more room to work with, they become a very scary opponent on the battlefield.
Yeah, and I think this is exactly why Albany wants to choose this, though. They want to play into their strengths, so they want to play into the thing they know that's working, and Wrecking Ball, honestly, I feel like this is more of a Winston map than a Wrecking Ball map, like thinking about it, because Winston is very good at taking high ground and controlling it. And it's just very easy to like use your jump pack to immediately get up there and contest. But Wrecking Ball, I could see there's a lot of situations you can kind of roll around and create chaos, which I think is the big thing, is when Delaware looked best was when they were able to play as a full 5, when they were able to run down and play this brawl comp as a one, like basically one brain cell. Like everyone's thinking the same thing, everyone's going on the same target, everyone's playing for the same objective. Albany, meanwhile, is thriving in this chaos. Oh, Ski just rolled through the backline. All right, well, we're gonna go focus out the Torburn that got separated, or whatever DPS they're playing. So this is going to be a great example of which mindset can be stronger here. If Delaware can stay together and not get separated, play as that pack that was so successful previously, or if Albany can go back to how it was in Lijiang and immediately just pick them off one by one when they're all running into different corners.
Well, we're going to find out. University of Delaware, University of Albany, both 1-1 in these quarterfinals. Already showing off and already proving how dangerous they are. RiseBiz in a lot of danger themselves, however, needed to dive out, just barely scraped by. Skin of their teeth, and still alive to fight for another day. Sumerian hit with a hack from Carter, but Llama's focusing beam is focusing down Steph, almost gone there. But Carter is looking for a trade on Sumerian. RiseBiz is just chilling in the backline.
That's the big thing, is they have the res. So Albany, they get the pick. They actually get a pick immediately after, but they get Sumerian back, so they don't have to wait for that respawn. Now they continue to run in, create space. You can see Delaware, they do not want to be up there in that corner. They want to be backing up and try to regroup with the rest of the team. But they can't really find a way out. They're trying to... Sully couldn't climb over the wall. Sully couldn't teleport out. That is huge. That is your primary healer gone. That is actually one of the biggest individual picks I think we've seen thus far. This might just be a free capture after that.
Yeah, look at Delaware. They're not even attempting. They're being bullied off of the point. And this is like potentially a free take. Not if RiseBiz has anything to say about it. With the help from Carter, they've been able to find something there. You do get Astroworld, but both of them going down, there's not much to hold off this Albany attack. Point A is going to be theirs, and now 5 minutes to get to point B.
What were we just saying? You cannot get separated, and you can see them time and time again. Delaware, they do not know where to go. They do not know how to stick together. Even with their Winston in the vicinity, they are kind of just running for the hills, running for their lives, and they are not getting out with them. Albany, they get so much time, like you just said, so many ultimates right around the corner too. Already the minefield ready to go, and now this high ground will be controlled very well. As I was saying before, I still think the Winston's a little bit better for controlling this high ground, but if we're able to just use, you know, your natural kind of given space that Delaware continues to give you as they give you more and more respect, you can get these picks.
You really do have to keep an eye on Astroworld, make sure they don't get the revive off, or you just chill out here on the high ground. Go for all the kills that you can. Booped off of there. TVD, man, needs to readjust and make that happen very quickly. A very dangerous moment for Steph, but Llama's focus with their focusing beam is unreal. And how they're able to capitalize on these situations. Albany more than likely looking like they're going to lose out on this team fight, but still has a couple of ultimates to go into it with the next one. Really only committed. Yeah, okay, never mind. All right. Looks like
they're going for this.
Yeah, they're still going for this, and it might actually work out well for them here. Ski hits the power driver onto TVD, man. Now Llama, popping the Primal Rage, wants to try and create as much space as they can. University of Delaware is going to start committing a lot of ultimates of their own. The Valkyrie and the Kitsune rush. We still have RiceBiz in control with their Primal Rage. Things start going sideways. Can turn things around on a dime. And a really good moment here from Storm Eagle to hit the Swift Step. Carter's execution to get right on top of them is unbelievable. How they do that time and time again. Somehow Delaware holding off the attack of Albany, where things looking like it was going very poorly.
Talking about the one brain cell, looks like Carter going to the Sombra might be the key to making sure that everyone's on the same page. Once that hack target comes in, you see the target focus has been immaculate. They immediately are able to mow them down. Ski is not going to get out of this. That's a huge amount of time that's going to be killed off the clock now. Oh my god, they started with 5 minutes down to 3. That last fight, I got to say, a bit crazy. I think the big thing is Ski tried to pile drive on the high ground, miscalculated it. And that high ground control, that's why I was saying the Winston is better at taking it. If you're not able to get up there as a wrecking ball, how can you contest the Soldier 76?
You can't. You just gotta hope that you can get up there, roll them off. But guess what's happening the entire time you're doing this? Carter gets in the back line, pops the hack onto Astroworld. No more mercy, no more worries about res. Now TVD, man, gets to use... Oh, they're hunting them down. This hamster's not gonna be able to go anywhere. The tactical visor wears off. They still have their healing station to keep them going. There's not much left that Storm Eagle can do to keep their tank going, especially not when they're hacked. That is going to be a rough stagger for Albany and Delaware. Looking really good.
And this high gun control, I mean, you did see the roll through. You did actually see that TVD man got knocked up and immediately just runs back, is pocketed by Steph the entire time with that visor. Delaware, they're controlling this high ground very, very well. And finally, Albany are going to try to match it. They will go for Winston of the run. This is the right swap. Hopefully not too late for them. That jump not going to land the way they want to. So he has struggled a bit at getting up actually to contest this, but the EMP is going to come in.
Oh, that EMP got everyone from Albany inside of it. But still, even through all of this, Albany is not giving up. They're fighting back and they're going at it as hard as they can. And Delaware was just not ready for this. They thought that EMP was going to be good enough to crumble the morale of Albany. They've rallied themselves back up and they're going back at it.
They just didn't commit enough to it. There was only 2 that engaged, the Sombra as well as the Winston. They were kind of on their own. They will get a recontest here, but they'll be running right into the Kitsune rush.
They're going to be able to use one of their own and to pile that on top with a Valkyrie. A lot of healing happening. Sumerian not expecting TVD, man, coming. And all on the backs of this one player. 3 kills, 2 kills already, rather. Got a little over-eager on that call for the third one, but the duplication from Llama saved their lives just in the nick of time. Now we're going to see what this tactical visor can do. It looks like they're going to deny a lot of the vision here, especially with RiceBiz inside of that Primal Rage, but it looks like it's going to be good enough. Llama turning out to be the more supreme Soldier 76 on the field, even inside of the duplication. Whatever you can do, I can do better.
And I really wish they kept that line from the April Fool's Day event. I mean, those lines were great. Like, I wish they kept all of them, honestly, but that one in particular was great. It just, it comes down to that EMP, not hitting the mark, not having enough people there. They do get a recontest. It's a bit discombobulated, and they aren't able to finish off Albany in time. Ultimates come back in. Llama gets the duplicate. They get the soldier. Ski's able to stay alive to get the Primal Rage. Asteroid's able to use their Valkyrie. So all these things they could have had if they got a little bit better target focus in that last fight are used and able to get them across the finish line for that second point. Now, though, Delaware do have the high ground. They do have the positioning. They have the tactical visor. And they're going to have to go up against this Bob.
Yeah, there it is. That's Bob, by the way, not Fred. Just gotta really hammer that one home. Already onto the high ground. University at Albany wants to dislodge them as quick as they can. They realize that is their victory card. If victory is looking more and more likely with how they've been playing, a quick revive comes in, but RiceBiz gets hit with the laser beam and he's getting hit hard. Now Ski built up towards the Primal Rage. He's so angry and it's gonna punch TVD man right in their Soldier 76 face. Albany looking so good. Struggled a little bit, but now coming back and fighting for him.
Seems like the gears are turning once more. A really quick first point, second point they struggled, but now with less high ground to contest and the Winston swap, they've just been able to run everyone down. But the EMP!
The EMP, it's happening again though, Jag! There's no commitment! The only one there is RiceBiz. Thankfully they get healed up. And it's even better, even better news here for Delaware, the fact that they got those kills. How much were you able to get out of it with just the two of them. Could you imagine what more you could have gotten had the entire team been there? Good enough anyways, at the very least.
Yeah, it would have been a much cleaner fight, and you got to give it up to Steph. Steph saved Risus. If Risus falls, that fight immediately turns on its head, and it's actually very winnable for Albany. But instead, you got your Mercy there to pocket you. They build up their Valkyrie, didn't need to use it, so they could save it potentially to pocket this tactical visor. It's looking very good for Delaware right now. I got to say, the odds of them holding and not letting that third capture point come through are looking very, very good unless disaster strikes.
Unless disaster strikes. Llama hanging in the air for just a second with that duplication. Is going to be on to the Winston. They know exactly what they want to do. Hit the Primal Rage. Disrupt TVD Man as much as you can inside of the tactical visor. And it's going to be successful. They find the Mega Pack. But again, history is repeating themselves. Stuck inside of the corner in front of a Primal Raging Winston. Thankfully for them, the duplication has gone offline. And now they get to hunt down Llama. Like the Echo they are. Getting pancaked by Ski. It's going to be TVD Man, but inside of this overtime, Albany needs to look towards any possible advantage that they can find. And then Delaware is not giving them any whatsoever. Another Primal Rage happens.
They don't touch.
And the overtime ticks away. Make that the second C9 for the night.
Man, they're really just welcoming here right now, right? Like, you know,
right.
I work for C9. We keep seeing C9s happen. Like, I feel like a privileged guest seeing this happen. I think this one is a little bit less tragic. It did not look like that fight was going the way of Albany. It just, you saw them losing two members right at the end there. Their Kiriko is getting jiggled all around the backside, away from the point. I do not think Delaware was able to get that, or Albany was able to get that one through at the very end. But still, overall, you can see now, like, there's kind of like these highs and lows that both teams have had. Originally on Lijiang Tower, it looks like it was going to be Delaware, you know, losing this series potentially 3-0, but they've been able to battle back. And we've seen, especially on defense, there have been times that they have just absolutely soared through, and then other times that they've just not been able to get together. Didn't cost them as much on this third point when the EMP went through and there wasn't follow-up. That second point, I think if the full team had been there, this would have been a second point hold. I don't think Albany would have been able to get that momentum they got that pushed them all the way to near the end if that mistake hadn't come through. So I'm not sure who the main shot caller is for Delaware, but you guys got to listen to them. Got to listen to Carter when they call there about the EMP, and you got to jump in on it. It is one of the best team wipe ultimates in the game that increase damage, and just not being able to use abilities for a few seconds, that is huge.
It is huge. Soldier 76 forgetting how to sprint. Classic. Now
he's old. Give him a break.
Yeah, he is old. You're right. Ski, though, a little bit of another tank that we've seen from them. We've seen a lot of tanks from this one player, but now we're getting the Diva special. Delaware, they're going with the Reinhardt. Now, that's an interesting decision when you choose Dorado, because look at how long it takes for you set up to get onto the high ground. Once you get up there, though, you're able to fight them out, but Albany can just drop down to the ground, kite out the Reinhardt, especially with the composition that they have. Not much to worry about here. You really have to wonder if Delaware is going to be able to capitalize with some early picks, especially Carter on this Cassidy. We're going to be looking to them to make that happen. TVD Man, however, is also a big contributor to making that happen. We're already seeing what Albany does. They just run away, and then they take the high ground right back immediately.
Yeah, absolutely. They can just literally kite them the entire time. They can burn down that shield. And there was a good attempt by Delaware with this comp. They're like, hey, we're just going to take the high ground ourselves with this Lucio. But that shield is just not going to last you long enough. Oh, boy, you're very lucky you had boosters there, Ski. But able to survive that one. And this high mobility comp, yeah, not going to be something that we can see Delaware really counter what they were playing. Now they're going to swap back to the Sombra that Carter has been pretty prolific with, has definitely been better as the series has gone on. However, they're for the first time going to the Wrecking Ball. We've seen Ski pull this out quite a few times. We have not seen Rice use it yet. So it looks like they're going to try to roll under, probably roll up to that high ground and knock them off and force that fight on the low ground.
These two teams with the choices that they make are really make me questioning everything. Because we know that Rice is a really good Winston, but they're choosing to go for the ball, maybe to get the potential to boot them off of the high ground. We haven't seen it happen very often, but it looks like they found some success at the very least. And of course, Carter back on that Sombra is going to be a pain, a thorn in the side for Sumerian time and time again. Can also be doing the same thing over towards Ski. They do have a self-destruct if things start going sideways, but really you have to wonder just what more you can do. TVD Man staying there a little bit too long, might get caught out. Oh, but the tactical visor happens. TVD Man can't get out. Hit with the aimbot. And Albany finding the big pick to scare off Delaware.
I feel like this is like a anything you can do, I can do better scenario. The real victory was the main tank difference we made along the way. But right now, we are not seeing RiceBiz having the same success. They are very close to that minefield, so they did a lot of rolling around, a lot of damage, but not a lot of elims. I was very impressed by that hack that came on the ski. I think that was like they were tactically like bringing them out to go for the hack, but not able to find the fix, not able to find success. And now Astroworld's gonna pop. The Valkyrie is gonna be Storm Eagle as well. The Eureka Rush
going right into there, and then body blocking RiceBiz when this hamster just wanted to roll away. Nothing to be found there except for the jaws of Albany. The series has been so back and forth so far, Jack, and what a night this has been.
Absolutely. It has been a hotly contested match so far, but it looks like Albany actually might be able to get a full hold here on the first point. Now, there are a lot of ultimates for Delaware. The minefield used, but everything else will be ready to go here. So I'm looking at Llama to see what they try to try to duplicate, maybe try to go for that Zenyatta Transcendence copy, but it's not a guarantee they'll get it. They're going to use the Visor into a D.Va that has Defensive Matrix.
Into the Defensive Matrix. We're seeing this again. The EMP happens from Carter. They get 2 out of it. But then you had to wonder, what would have happened had TVD Man been there with that Tactical Visor? This would have been so much cleaner. In fact, they're still finding this out, trying to win, but not finding much success. You're gonna get back over to Ski, so dangerously low, but there we have it. The D.Va gets demexed. Now we get to beat up this baby D.Va. There we have it. Now, Delaware finding some success once more, but Albany should have enough time to recontest here.
Yeah, just enough time. Self-destruct was thrown out, so that is another win for Delaware, not having to deal with that ultimate. They still have their defensive ultimates from both supports. They swapped to the Reaper too, so a little bit more burst damage onto the tank. SP has now swapped on to a Wrecking Ball of their own, but this duplicate, it's gonna go in. It's going for the Sombra. They want the EMP.
They want the EMP. Storm Eagle being taken out is going to be disastrous. Now we're seeing the EMP used, but already the Transcendence to make sure that is completely nullified. No worries about this. We're going to be okay. University of Delaware getting the picks that they needed even more so. Ski wanted to switch over to the Wrecking Ball. The Comfort Pick, get back there as quick as they can. And already Llama's focusing beam. Seems like it might be able to give a foothold for Albany, but a foothold at most as that continues to narrow more and more. Astroworld, a lot of healing off of the board. But it's back and forth. The Reaper gone, but that minefield is setting things up for a lot of success. Delaware is going to be finding Storm Eagle's kunais right in the face of Steph. And it looks like the Tactical Visor. Wait a minute. Sumerian comes in. They're blasting away. Delaware had this in the pack. They had all the ultimates. They had everything. But Albany comes back. They come firm. And they hold them off. 2-1 now in this series here on Dorado.
Number one rule of playing supports, never layer your support ultimates. It is the number one no-no, because especially if you've got 2 defensive ultimates, like they basically just do the same thing. I mean, a lot of them, they're not the same exact. I'm not gonna lie. Like Rally gives you armor or temporary health, keeps you alive. Transcendence heals you over time, keeps you alive. At the end of the day, they do the same thing. And I think there's a bit of panic when you saw that duplicate EMP come through. But Rally stays up through EMP. Rally does not get canceled by EMP. So they were still getting all of that temporary health, all of that health that like stacks over time. And then it does peak at some point. But no, they're staying alive. I did not see anyone fall that weak. It's that Transcendence that comes in. And I think that's just kind of the natural tendency you have as a Zenyatta player. You're like, oh God, like I got to pop it right now. I got to keep everyone alive. But because of that, they do not have anything to keep them alive through the Tactical Visor that comes out at the very end. So that battle is, at the end of the day, won out by Albany. And now they are on series point. They are 1 game away from advancing to next week, which will be a very difficult matchup. But still, one they want to win here, nonetheless, to get to that point. And it's not going to be their pick. It's going to be pushed, and it's going to be Delaware's ball again, as they will be able to pick one of 3 maps. So not the biggest exact map pool, because push is the newest game mode, but still with this opportunity to potentially bring it up to 2-2, what do you think they're going to be looking for?
All right, so I'm going to peer into the crystal ball, and I'm going to say Esperanza. Because
interesting.
Yeah, that right? I feel like Esperanza, it's been kind of said, whispered in a couple of corners, kind of the king's row of push, because a lot of compositions work so well on this particular map. And I think for the close quarters that we've seen Delaware really lean towards, obviously they went with that Reinhardt. We saw it at the very beginning of attack on Dorado, but we saw the issues that it had. Long time to take to get up onto the high ground. And at that point, what can Albany do? They just kite it out. They give them the space, they respect it, and then regroup once they get off of the high ground because they have to chase them. So when that happens, that takes away a lot of the pressure. It forced Delaware to switch to dive compositions to force them to make the interesting switch over to the Wrecking Ball. So now I'm thinking Esperanza, right? Close quarters. Once again, I'm feeling like Delaware wants to have something that favors that Reinhardt.
So I'm actually going to disagree with you on this one because I think Esperanza is probably the second best choice here. I would actually say I think Colosseo is the best choice.
Yes.
I think Colosseo, because it's exactly what you're talking about. It has that close quarter combat, and I don't think high ground is nearly as valuable as it could be on Esperanza. I think that's the biggest difference for Esperanza is that high ground is usually hotly contested. There it is, Colosseo. Usually it's ignored, honestly. Even like defenders will hold it for just a moment, and then generally they'll just have to play the low ground to contest the objective. So that's why I was thinking it. I think it's a little bit more Ryan favored. I do agree Esperanza would have been a good second choice, but I think this makes sense for what we've seen Delaware play for the most part of this series. Now, can they actually execute it and bring it to that map too? Everything in our history says yes. Every match that we have seen recorded in the last year essentially has said these two teams will go the full distance. But with Push being the deciding factor here, I mean, Push is such a chaotic map mode. I say Control is chaotic. I think Push might even be more chaotic.
Push has that logic being thrown out of the window when it comes to it sometimes. We want to get off of the bot to be able to win on the next team fight. Give a little bit of space and then come back. So that way we're in a better position so we can go further. It goes against all of the logic of what Overwatch is about. And I think that can throw players for a loop sometimes. But that's kind of the beauty of Push, is that it throws everything into the garbage bin and says, here's our rule, playing by them. And if you don't, well, it's going to be that much more difficult for you. And for this to be kind of the deciding factor for Delaware, right? If they lose here, then obviously Albany wins. But if they win here, that's going to be, I think, even a bigger victory for themselves to be able to win out in this new game mode. And something that, mentally speaking, when we go into our map 5, which is going to be very exciting, that little bit of an extra edge that they can bring to the table.
Absolutely, but one advantage that will be Albany's if they lose map is they will get to choose. So there is that kind of like storyline I started at the very beginning where, you know, if this does go to map 5, they will get that map pick. So they could choose something that's in their favor. I want to go back to one thing you said, though, just a few moments ago about getting off the bot and not letting it move. That is something that my fiance, who she is Grandmasters player, has yelled at me and my friends extensively about when we play quick play. She's like, why are you giving them an advantage? Why are you getting them closer to the bot to contest this? Why are you allowing them a chance back in? It does kind of go against any logic you've ever played Overwatch, and there's a lot of resetting. There's a lot of times you give up the bot to give yourselves better positioning. So it's such a different tactical game than we're used to. We're going to have to see who executes it better, as Delaware, as we expected, going of that Ryan comp back to the tried and true May wall someone off comp, try to focus someone down. Albany going with the Orisa. We saw, I believe, Delaware actually pull out an Orisa themselves, but we have not seen Ski, I believe, on this hero just yet.
Whew. All right, more adjustments, more tanks, and the tank pull for Ski, pulling out almost every single one of them, except for, I think, the Reinhardt at this point. And it's looking like Albany may have been the right choice. You're seeing the Delaware not really wanting to poke in onto it until the bot activates. And Llama spilling the first blood here in these very pivotal map. Because if Albany wins out here, then they take round 1, these quarter-final playoffs. And a spear, javelin spear right into Rice Viz, into the arrows of Llama. Albany winning this first team fight, gonna get some very valuable bot push.
I always call it the cart too, don't worry. It's just such a hard adjustment. See, even we're not used to it yet. Oh my god, these javelins have been massive. I mean, they're just mini Doomfist punches, essentially. You can stun someone into a wall, you do quite a bit of damage, you can hit someone out and then put them in a position they don't want to be in. And Ski, as they have been all game, has been such a decisive factor. The Orisa swap has not made a difference, but this Winston swap might make a difference.
It might, until you get slept. Carter takes down Storm Eagle. Now there are no more tanks on the field. This is ideal moments for Delaware if they're able to continue to convert into kills, which so far they've been able to. Sumerian wasn't expecting a Tracer right there in their face, but Carter was more than happy to get the execution. Albany, as soon as they got that bot, kind of lost it.
Adjustments on adjustments on adjustments. They were not prepared for all these swaps that Delaware made to this comp. I think the only thing they really kept were the supports. Yeah, everything else was changed. That's how Soy was able to build up such a quick amplification matrix. Now Albany, they have to find a way back, and they will have quite a few ultimates of their own. Biggest thing to note is that there is no immortality field for Suzu for this pulse bomb.
That was so scary for Steph. You were skating right into lava. That could have been a disaster, and it still might the more they're in the air, but enough damage was done to Riceface. It's still going to be Carter running right into your face. This tactical visor is going to change everything, and Carter even used the pulse bomb, wasn't able to find anything against Albany. This bot is going back and forth, and at this point, it's going to get dizzy.
Huge fight win. Sully has to reset. Carter is kind of caught in no man's land, and they know that Carter's around here somewhere, so they're scouting for them. There's not going to be any sneak attack here. They will get out eventually. That means more time to get a burn to try to recontest the team. Nano's going to be used immediately on the Orisa.
And you're just going to be right in their face. Press W, hit the Terror Surge, see if you can get Steph inside of it, but that was a really good protection, Suzu, from Sully to allow their Lucio to escape. Albany got a lot of cart presence and a lot of bot space. I keep saying cart, but there you have it.
They get the capture, though. It's only a few meters away. Do they contest this? No, that is a free capture. So that is a huge advantage now as they get this pick as well, but now they'll have a better spawn.
Oh, my word. The Death Blossom happens for TVD, man. Astroworld, guess what? Gets off the sound barrier just in time to take away the Blossom and just give Delaware death. Albany gets the forward spawns. They get the picks. They're getting everything in the pocket. Delaware looking rough.
Because of that capture, I mean, there's a few last second picks, but Astroworld has speed boost, can wall ride, they'll get back pretty quickly, and they're even closer than they would be originally if they hadn't been able to get that capture before they fell. So, I mean, you gotta be careful if you're Albany. Maybe not this aggressive if your ski could immediately fall if they're not able to rotate. This is actually very awkward. Yeah, they're not able to get back on top, so this should be a fight win for Delaware.
Oh, Riceface desperately wants to get Llama off the field. A lot of that burst damage taken away. The bot now moving backwards, but still, Albany has those forward spawns. Delaware having to win out in a couple of team fights in a row is going to be a tough order for them. But at the very least, looking at the ultimates for both teams, Albany getting close, but Delaware still, has one of their own.
Winning that dry fight, getting the bot back, so now there's no spawn advantage, but now they're going to be running into a Terror Surge.
Oh, there it is. The Terror Surge popped, and the anti-nade to go along with it. Riceface stuck. Looks like they're able to make that adjustment to get back with the rest of the team just in time, but Carter's not going to be able to say the same thing. Riceface really wanted to get that javelin spin into Ski, but it's not going to happen.
Again, no trades on trades, and that spawn advantage now has been locked and should be able to get back. I think the biggest thing for Albany right now is they have to be a bit careful of their positioning. They lost that last fight dry because of where Ski was playing. Now they have to hold this high ground, play together as a team, wait for those respawns. They still have 3 ultimates at their disposal. Delaware, they still have nothing. This could be the map right here. This could be a win for them right here, and they've already used Nano Boost.
Here it is. Now the Dragons. Riceface was caught right inside of it, but they're able to heal back up to full. They didn't go down. It's a trade for a trade world. Once more, the tactical visor hit onto Riceface. They needed to use the protection Suzu to keep themselves safe. The tactical visor looks like it might be fizzling out just in the nick of time. They don't even need a tactical visor. They don't even need the aim bots. Marion just has the pure raw skills on their side. Now looking towards the Terror Surge and a lot of targets in their face. Potentially that could have been given to them. But Delaware holding on by just the thinnest of margins against Albany right at the finish line. Still,
Carter does not want to lose this, but they die.
That is disastrous. The forward spawns we have to remember are there, and Sumerian is killing everybody inside of it. Riceface's Terror Surge needed to come up big to hold them off, but look at the bot, they get off of it! No one can save it in time!
The C9 again!
Lucio! The C9 from University of Albany has given their win. Delaware, the overheat. Unbelievable, 3-1 in these round 1 of the quarterfinal playoffs.
You know, I must have cursed this somehow because we were talking about this in pre-production and we're like, oh, this has to be a 3-2. Finally, I'll get the cast a 5-map series, and this ends in the most unfortunate of ways. They were winning that fight again. This happened before, I believe, on Lijiang on that first point on Gardens all the way back at the beginning of the series. They're winning the fight. They have the numbers. They're finally stabilizing, and they forget about the objective, and this one is right in their own spawn. It is so unfortunate. It is heartbreaking. And that is just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. I was going to believe that Albany would win this because they've had the better series, their most recent series. They were able to win those two, 3-2 in both of those. But this one, they're able to eke it out a little bit sooner. They are able to do a little bit of an upset as they were the number 5 seed versus Delaware being the number 4 seed. So tiny upset, and they are able to advance to the next round against a very hungry Ball State.
Very hungry. That's kind of going up against the final boss already in the second round. So I am not envious of Albany, but I am very happy for them tonight being able to take the 3-1 against the University of Delaware. But that is going to be it for Overwatch, but we still have Rocket League to go through here at ECAC. So make sure you stick around to watch that.
What?
Now I know what you're thinking. Oh, Septilence, how could that be all we got from weeks number 1 and 2? Please tell me there's more. If you like what you saw, you've got to go check out ECAC Esports on all social media platforms. Please see what they're bringing to the table. It is great collegiate esports week after week. And on the bright side, folks, this is just the beginning. We've got the whole rest of what is guaranteed to be a great season ahead of us. Thank you so much for joining me for this recap, and I'll see you on the next one.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss that fact,
is that we don't have these preconceived notions, and we're willing to listen to our membership and read the room, read college athletics and how it's connected and how it's not, and take what we have expertise in championships, but also throw out some of the other stuff. I remember when we first started, there were some conferences were applying their amateurism rules to all of their esports competitors, and I think we knew enough to know that no, that's not going to work in an esports culture. It's got to be very different. And by the way, the NCAA was going in a different direction. You could see that Train had already left the station on that, and so it's an incredibly dynamic area and ever changing, and will continue to change. And just as we didn't know when we started what it's going to be looking like, I think similarly we still don't know what it's going to be in another 5 years. I know enough to know that all of us are still going to have a thriving esports program that's doing a real good service for our members and for our competitors. But we still don't know necessarily what some of that is going to look like, and that's pretty cool about it all. Let me ask you this, because you all are used to dealing with your athletic directors, and each of them are dealing with what's in front of them in their athletic departments. My guess is at least some of your schools are that this is not necessarily operating within the athletic department. And can you talk about how you navigate that in a conference office, and maybe the best way to handle that, or do you have preferences? Do you try to steer them one way or the other? And just talk a little bit about that, if you don't mind.
Sure. The majority of our schools are not under the athletics umbrella. We have one institution that perhaps by next year will be under the auspices of athletics, but most of them are in other departments across campus. Right. One of the things that has helped us is that we have support from the president's office. And so in order to participate in Mountain West events, you have to have an adult non-student administrator that oversees that, the esport program. And that's where we get assistance with, eligibility checks and, please complete your roster, things like that. I don't know in the future, and it depends on, who's sitting in the athletics director's chairs, whether or not more esport teams will go under the umbrella of athletics. And I'm kind of indifferent in terms of whether it should, because I don't want esports to go down the road that some conventional sports have gone down with the NCAA. So we have a unique opportunity to kind of craft esports in a way that fits what esports is, as opposed to trying to fit it into a conventional athletics box, so to speak.
Right.
I think the success of our program and getting participation is exactly that. The fact that we're not tying it in necessarily to athletics and NCAA eligibility. Like Carolyn, we probably have 3 or 4 schools that are under athletics. And I know it puts them in a difficult position sometimes trying to make some decisions. I got a request recently to consider allowing part-time students to participate during this year, because some schools struggle sometimes to fill out all the games that they want to play with us. And we held off on that for now. We defer to the institution and say, what's your policy for those that are under student development or activities? What's your policy for allowing students to participate? And if you certify that they're eligible under your current policies, then that's good for us. I also think, and I was part of some of the conversations early on with the NCAA years ago about the NCAA getting involved as a Division II representative, and I was crossing my fingers that wouldn't happen, just because I think this needs time to grow, and expand.
Can I ask Bob a question, because you mentioned part-time enrollment, and one of the things that we've done here is that as a conference, we've just set eligibility standards, full-time enrollment, making progress towards your degree as the institution defines it. Are you guys doing something like that as well? Because we've gotten that part-time enrollment question and we've said no.
Yeah, no, I don't think we've gotten that far down the line, Carolyn, to ask for that. I think we kind of put it on the institution, but we do say that the student has to be a full-time. Now, they could be a full-time grad student, but they have to be full-time as from what the institution decides.
Yeah, our eligibility requirements are just as simple as can be. You have to be a full-time student in good standing.
Yes.
And after that, and that's about it. Now I think we wanted as few impediments to getting this thing rolling as possible in the outset. I do think as schools get more competitive, they will start to distrust one another, and that's why we have this 500-page NCAA manual, because schools distrust one another. But we're not there yet. Right now there's still a collective. Let's move this forward, and the fact that the NCAA is not administering it, I think, is really helpful to the growth of it all. And yes, we allow grad students. We don't even have a 4 or 5 year clock. If you are full-time enrolled for 10 years in good standing, you can do, and why not? Why would we not say that that's okay? Now, eventually, like I said, we may change our minds if the schools require it. They say, no, this is crazy. Look what they're doing over there. We don't like, but I think we're still a long way from that. Alex, do you have anything?
Yeah, I mean, I echo everything that really Carolyn has said. You're gonna have to forgive me. What was the original question? It's been a minute. I know. I'm sorry.
Well, just kind of what you set out to do, and then what maybe the realities of it all.
https://twitter.com/Septilence. Don't put that in. I'll get in trouble. So that's That's worth it. Did I get too close to the camera on that one? A little bit too close? Should I back up a little bit? Okay, sorry about that. My bad. I've been awake for probably close to 32 hours. Like, I have to like hold my keyboard like the normal way, because if I do it, I feel like I have arthritis and I hold my keyboard like that. It blows my mind. I can never do that. Like, this guy right here, he's got his keyboard like off at an angle. His isn't that extreme. There's a kid all the way down to the far end who has his keyboard all the way at like a horizontal.
That's really cool.
They're gonna be at that table right over there.
Public information?
Oh, I don't know. But this isn't live, so it doesn't matter.
It's not live, but like you and I know.
Yeah, we know.
I'm not gonna tweet it.
Awesome. What game do you play?
Smash Bros.
Who do you play? Is it embarrassing? Is it like Villager?
Yeah.
Is it Villager? Am I spot on? Oh my god. Is it the Ice Climbers?
No.
Is it Game & Watch?
No.
Is it Pichu?
No.
Is it Wario?
No.
I can keep going. I think I can name every character in the game. Is it? Did I say the Ice Climbers already?
Yeah, you said them.
Is it them?
No.
Is it them a second time? No. Okay. All right. Oh, is it one of the Links?
Yes, it is.
Is it Toon Link?
It is.
Oh, that is pretty embarrassing. That is rough. Who do you play?
I'll give you $20 if you guess correctly right now.
First try? Give me a single hint.
It's an obscure character.
Obscure character.
Not played very often.
Is it Wii Fit Trainer?
Oh my god!
I'm the interviewer for a reason, baby. I do what I do. I don't need the money. I appreciate it, though. I appreciate it. So Bowser Jr., Wii Fit, and I forgot already. Are you all lying to me? Am I being gaslit? No. Bowser Jr., Wii Fit, and you told me already. Oh, Toon Link. Yep. Where's my main support at? Who are we playing this weekend?
A lot of Brig.
A lot of Brig, really?
Brig Lucio, probably.
Brig Lucio, really? I shouldn't say that too loud. I don't want to give away your strategies. It's over-under?
What do you mean over-under?
Like, do we think we're going to podium? Do we think we're going to come in last place?
Not last place.
Not last place?
Certainly not last.
What about, like, 5th place?
That's doable.
That's doable? That's winnable? 3rd place?
Third place.
That's where things get dicey?
That's very doable.
Okay.
First place? That's very doable.
First place, very doable. Love it. That's the mindset. That's what he loves to hear. Yeah. Oh my god. Hold on. Cut the cameras. Well, who are you? Hello. Oh my god. I saw you earlier. I saw the back of your shirt. And I was like, I know that name. I know him. It's a quick play game. They Q-sniped each other at land. I thought it was a scrim. It's just unlucky. Are you actually a Villager player?
Yeah.
How do you feel about Villager being notably worse in Smash Ultimate than they were in Smash 4?
I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know? You never play Smash 4?
No.
Oh, that's all right. Nobody's going to hold that against you. Now, who do you play?
I play Robin.
Okay, wow. Did you know Robin has the lowest pick rate in the game?
We're at the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup. Let's make some noise.
Oh, and it's gonna
jumped into it.
Corner judges go for 1, 2, yeah. He needs more.
They're doing even more here. You gotta touch the point. Mr. College walks it in.
Toy Boy is gonna drop.
Knife him.
Right out front.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Running.
Hello and welcome, Rocket League fans. I'm FBI Tugboat here on the day with Pyro. We got a lot of collegiate Rocket League coming at you. It's the ECAC, and here we're on round 2 of 6 on the day, and we got 2 fiery teams ready to take the pitch. Pyro.
Yes, indeed we do. LA Tech versus Farmingdale. 2 very winning teams, I've got to say. Tugboat posted an undefeated record there from LA Tech and a 7-1 record from Farmingdale. But even with that loss, I think this team still looking to make a deep run in the bracket. Tug, I had taken a look at that bracket as well. There is the reward of winning and moving on, but also the winner is likely playing Ball State Red, a rank 2 seed, while these teams are sitting at 15 and 18. So not gonna be an easy road as we move from round to round in this ECAC Division A playoffs.
Yeah, it's one of those things you really, we're going to pull for winners here, but you really, really don't envy that winner too much, given who they have to play next. Like you said, number 15th seed, LA Tech, that's the Bulldogs here, taking on the Farmingdale Rams. Now, they're only solo loss right here. Obviously hard fought, but you gave the slight edge to Farmingdale, and I'm going to have to agree with you right here. I love upsets. We love underdogs. And 15 to 18th, that's even not really that much of an underdog, and there's a whole lot of Rocket League to be played. These are best of 7s right here, so it'd be surprising with two such evenly matched teams here that we see some kind of 4-0. We're going to get some extra Rocket League here. That's my prediction. And
listen, that's what the playoffs is all about. I'm going to share that prediction, Tugboat. It's also hard to call a horse in this race as well. It's like, kind of when you're at the horse race itself, you're looking at the horses and they all look like very strong contenders. That truly is these two teams here, 15 seed, 18 seed, 1 loss versus 0. There's not a lot of wiggle room. And with that best of 7, a long match, so many adjustments can happen. That's what happens in this esport of Rocket League. It is all about adjustment. It is all about how you read the play, your opponents, and where their weaknesses are. So it takes a performance on the day here for Farmingdale and LA Tech. I just can't wait to see the way that it irons out.
Yeah, we'll be finding that out here in just a little while, but kind of giving a little bit more to this one. I really feel like one of these teams is going to come out and take the first 2 games, and then after that, again, what we always talk about, the most important time in Rocket League, and that is a couple minutes between these games. They'll come forth, be able to kind of change that game plan, and whoever stays the most malleable, I think, going to come forth, take the W here on the day. We hop into this one, just a couple of seconds, and we are off. Yes, that is LA Tech. Going to be on the left side in the blue. That is Neely, that is Easter, and that is Tile Points.
I love that. Okay, style points. They never affect the scoreboard, Tugboat, but they affect the points in my heart, truly. And style points coming in with what looks to be a unique car. Could be the Proteus, the Grog. I got to get a better look at it in a second. There's certainly some style points on this court already. Some hard, fast competition to get out the gate.
Yes, that's Journey Boy, Otto, and McFinest 49. McFinest 49. Now, we've seen style points before. As we know, style never dies, and if we taking favorites as far as names, based on nothing else, based on no score, nothing else like that, or skill, or anything else like that, I'm giving it to style points in a slight edge over and over to a McFinest as well. Love the name.
Yeah, the names are all about it, but I'm looking at the performance as well. And when we see that triple commit coming out from LA Tech, oh boy, maybe Farmingdale is the more cohesive unit of the day. You've got to be careful to deploy your resources in a more uniform fashion. That does not mean everybody in the same end. And look at what Farmingdale are able to produce here. Great pass downfield. Finest there to try and find a pass infield as well. It is going to go broken up. And Easter hounding Otto. My eyes are on Otto as well, Tugboat. That's a player. I was looking at their ranks. One of the highest achieving, just a 1 rank lower than the highest that the game can offer. We could see a lot out of that player today.
Speaking of double commits, a little bit there from Farmingdale, trying to put a little bit too many eggs in the same basket. Now down bottom, nice shot, and that's actually going to be an own goal after the defender comes in, gets a hand on it. Can't quite get out of the kitchen too fast.
Sometimes you can put a hand up, Tug, but it's not always enough. Goal line pressure gets to LA Tech as Farmingdale score their first. And, you know, we said it was a long series. Best of 7 offers all kinds of times for adjustments to be made, but sometimes setting the tone setter of the series can be just as impactful.
Setting a tone, scoring. I can't think of a better way right here. Now right or left corner, excuse me. Bounce over. Neely looking a little bit of a run. Nice redirect there from Journey Boy, excuse me. Getting that one cornered up and out. Now starting an offense of their own. Flipping through. Defender stops it. Neely gets a better hand on an Easter. Now starting this off offense the other way. Neely once again. Gotta say, LA Tech's been plagued by the bad angles thus far.
They have, but I do appreciate the opportunities that have been given. They're right on the onset of the possession, and they're not afraid to fire away as soon as the chance is given. I also want to see some of these missed shots turn into pass opportunities. Those are sometimes the best looks that teams can get is, uh-oh, I missed my chance, but hey, it's right off the backboard, and it creates the perfect rebound opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. Team-based game, 3 of them. You got 2 teammates always. Well, I guess until we delve into the demo game. None of that so far, but I can guarantee you we're going to get physical. It's not just a song here, people. It's not just a song. Nice shot. Neely there. Gonna be a little bit of weaker clear until, I believe that's Neely again, gets a second hit on that one actually. 100 seconds or so is style points. Gets the crown up to this one. Have we figured out what kind of car box that is?
Oh yeah, that's a grog with the crown. Style points, it is officially a grog. One of the chunkiest cars available in the game. I'm not sure what hitbox we're talking. There's 6 hitboxes in Rocket League. The Merc hitbox being the biggest of them all. That one not there. That shot also not there from Neely. About as close as you can get though.
Yep, again, bad angles right here. A lot of pressure. Nicely done, McFinest. Dial up Progressive State Farm. The insurance goal has been purchased.
I mean, you wanted angles there. It is Finest. You can hardly get better than that. The ball tippy-tapping off the lip of the crossbar. That is a thing of beauty, and I believe there is more where that's to come from this Farmingdale squad. Again, the only team that has registered a loss between these couple of teams in this league play, but still a resilient one at that. They've not only posited great offense in their 2 uncontested goals here, but also a shutout in the first 4 minutes of this game. Only a minute to go to shut them out completely. Shot from Finest. Not the better end of the crossbar that time around.
That's Otto. Journey boy to Otto. Nicely done. Little pitter-patter. Let's get back at her, but can't quite get that one back on in. Now middle pitch. Otto starting this one. That's going to be style points off the backboard now as Neely trying to receive this one. Back on over to the middle. Style points. Gets it under 1. Nobody really gets it. Neely almost gets an open net. Dirty Boy again just twisting, contorting themselves in the air right there. It's the perfect angle. Gets this one back to middle pitch. 10 seconds.
About all she wrote at this point, saving a miracle here. Ball lofted to the half-court line, and I think towards the end of this game, Tugboat, LA Tech, they're going to be wanting a lot of their shot chances back. Towards the end of the game, they had that open net look. We saw other shots that just didn't hit under the crossbar between the posts. You got to hit the shot practice before the game, Tugboat, not hop into game 1 cold on your feet.
It's fair. It's fair. Taking a look at saves, you have 5 total from the side of LA Tech. Maybe kind of writing the reason for exactly why this is an incredibly close game is 4 saves over the other side, indicative of a decently even time of possession until we get to the shots total. Unfortunately, Easter was not really able to get too involved in this game, whereas Farmingdale, this is what we talked about in the pre-show here, Pyro J. This is a squad that can play together very well. Both of these shots assisted as well. Otto gets a shot. Otto gets an assist. McFinest gets a shot. McFinest gets the assist right here. Is this kind of team play that's going to take Farmingdale forward and at least take a couple more games in this? Again, not predicting the sweep. Not predicting the sweep here, people. 4-0 would be kind of surprising at this point, especially given that LA Tech has not dropped a match yet. They've dropped games. They have not dropped match yet.
Right, not yet. That's the key word here. But you mentioned the team plays, Tugboat, and you couldn't have said it any better. It's the first thing we talked about when the game started. We saw a triple commit from LA Tech and then a nice passing play on transition from Farmingdale. When players are communicating effectively to say this is the pass I'm looking for or this is the position that I'm going to be in, you'll see those passing plays come to form. I think for LA Tech, as they're missing shots, as they're double or triple committing, you can see that they're still warming up to the stage right now. It's a best of 7. It's a long series, but it's better to get warmed up sooner rather than later as we get right into game 2.
Yeah, Neely now, left side, Easter. Tries to come up to this one, can't quite get to it. Otto. Bounce plays. There's the physical play we were talking about. Maybe that was part of the LA Tech.
Yeah, quarters would be interesting in Rocket League. Even timeouts in this situation for ECAC, but I don't think they're afforded any of that. In fact, towards the latter end of game number 1, they could have been using that time as well when the result was signed and sealed to get this team back into form.
It'd be really interesting, right? Like how exactly, like almost like what in hockey you get one anytime timeout. Obviously, that is generally taken last couple of minutes by the team that is down. That'd be super interesting, especially for longer series within Rocket League. A lot of back and forth here in the middle of this one, but I think that would be really, really interesting there for Rocket League. Like 15, 30-second pause, something like that. Ooh, dirty boy.
I'd hate to see a break in sort of the momentum, but hey, if it's done in hockey, then yeah, I'd like to see what it does look like in Rocket League. For now, the way this game works, that ball, as it's pushing its way back and forth the field, ain't nothing gonna stop it except maybe a team pinch that, puts this ball with a lot of force.
Wow.
It is Otto. We called this name out earlier. He's gonna put his name in headlights here.
There you go. Headlights, spotlights, show lights, the whole 9 yards. 107 kilometers per hour from like almost half pitch. That's an incredibly fast ball. A minute and a half or so into this one, and Farmingdale going to be striking first. Just to clear up the theoretical point we're prodding at, in hockey, it's not any time. That was an incorrect assessment of when they can call it. They have to have possession, and the puck has to be in the other side of them. They can't be like staring down like a big like open net and then call it a timeout or something like that. Yeah. So.
That would be outrageous. So yes. I'm happy to hear that clarification.
Yes.
But it is interesting you parallel it with hockey, because that even though this is technically car soccer with this format of the game, it does look more and more like hockey the more you look at it. And hey, there's 100%. Plenty of fights and brawls in hockey as well. We're seeing that with the fireworks and the demolitions here. Style points almost delayed. That's opened up, but well defended by Otto.
I like that. I like that allegory that you're dropping. Like, in hockey, there's obviously penalties for, your fouls or fighting mostly, obviously. In Rocket League, there are penalties for giving up the back and getting demoed. It's only about 5 seconds, or I guess 2.5 seconds technically. But I like the allegory. 2.5 seconds, 3 seconds.
I think it's 3. I want to say. Funny enough, you can change that in the mutator settings if you wish, but there's going to be no changing in the settings here. For 3 seconds, Finest will be out of the game. To respawn, Otto still wants to make a possession out of this. So close to doing that. I was scared, Tug. I saw style points again on the wrong side of the ball on the goal line. Thankfully, in this situation, they didn't tap it in their net.
3 seconds. Looked it up. Feels like a lifetime, though, folks. What feels like a lifetime is LA Tech in the past 8 minutes, though, Pyro J. We've been staring down the barrel of a scoreless game as far as scoreless performance. They've had some opportunities. That's mostly in Game 1, though. Taking a look at the numbers as of right now. Yeah, we're actually looking at even shots. That's gonna be Otto right there, displaying the dominance, absolute dominance. 3 shots, 2 goals in. Player is efficient.
Otto this, Otto that. I don't know what this player cannot do. Double tap Merchant. Great reads from the skies. Beautiful work coming out of this player. And right now for Farmingdale, it may just be about enabling your star player when you're getting these passes downfield or from Finest this carry from your own backboard. Have someone else lead that charge and have Otto be that second or that third man that works into the pass from the side or from the middle of the field. It is continuing to put points on the board here for Farmingdale.
Yeah, Neely had a pretty solid shot at that, kind of bit into it a little bit early right there. Picked that fruit before it was ripe, and it was a bitter taste. They'd come back a little bit more. There was such like a weak tap from the defender right there. Might have led. First LA Tech goal. Okay, demos everywhere like they're driving over a minefield right now. Look at the minesweeper.
And again, is this part of the disruption play that's needed for LA Tech? Because they haven't scored a goal this entire series. Yeah, we haven't finished game 2 yet, but still, when you're in the single elimination format of the bracket of the playoffs, you want to score a goal before this time. And whether it's the demo or whether it's the boost steals, maybe disruption is part of it, but 30 seconds are on the clock now, Tug. And LA Tech needs something now more than ever.
Huh, okay. So, Otto, the opportunity to put the nail into the coffin of this one. 2 is still technically possible within 20 seconds. That's a bold play, okay. Dirty Boy going for the demo instead of the goal. Interesting.
Dear, save there, Otto. Dirty Boy right behind this ball. Shot again by the wayside. That would have given that last opportunity there.
Oh my God.
Cheeky touch from Easter, but it still won't land in the net. It's another 2-0 win for Farmingdale.
Yeah, so taking a look at these numbers yet again, obviously the demos here rocketing up, but the saves pretty much the exact same. Farmingdale with 1 extra. The shots pretty much the exact same, just with Farmingdale Oh, no, excuse me, pretty much the exact same, especially with, what, one player with 3 shots, one player with 2 shots, one player with no shots right here. Both goals assisted, yet again, Farmingdale, if reliability and consistency is key right here, then Farmingdale can unlock a lot of doors.
They most certainly can. Talking about what's the same here, and the stat that really comes to life for me is the fact that, again, each goal from Farmingdale was assisted. We can't talk enough about how this offense is so cohesive, especially in the manner of how they set up Otto for success. Otto with 3 of the 4 goals right now for Farmingdale. You've got a star player there. You got to keep feeding them the ball.
Yep.
And that offense and that stonewall defense, it is just resulting in an unbeatable team right now, Tug.
Yeah. And I can't agree more. Like, Rocket League teams should be really well, like, rounded and everybody just able to play any kind of role or whatever. Otto's on fire tonight, like, straight up. He is 3 of the 4 goals scored for the side of Farmingdale, and he is, what, 2 of the assists, right? Or no, the only one that he didn't get, he got assisted right here. So that's about as good as it gets here, folks. FBI Tugboat Pyro J, we're getting right back onto this one.
Let's get it. LA Tech and Farmingdale, one side and the other. We've been in this situation before in best of 7s in Rocket League. Tug and I, we've done it for quite some time. And when you've got a team up 2-0 in a best of 7, if they win this game 3, that could be about it. Momentum continuing to swing in the favor of Farmingdale with the opener.
Yeah, 1 is all right. One is literally just a Rocket League game, sometimes even a warm-up. 2 is the beginning of a pattern, right? Beginning of progress. Now 19 seconds into this one, Farmingdale strikes again. Color me surprised.
Yeah, well, if you truly are surprised here, Tug, you're the only one in the audience that is. That's got their jaw on the ground. Don't worry, I can note the sarcasm. Look at this passing play. Again, this is how this team loves to operate, almost the 3-player simulation. But that final pass just a little bit over their head. As this series goes on,
oh my God!
This team, they're just getting more and more confident, Tugboat, and we see how lethal that can get.
Yeah, McFinest, Journey Boy, McFinest has a Journey Boy and McFinest. My goodness, it's been a long day, folks. That goal never happens without the pass play all the way in. Again, just simply surprised at 48 seconds in. We're looking at 2 scores already, same scoreline that we saw first 2 games. Shot over, and this is the wheels falling off, Pyro J.
It's going from bad to worse. And you know, especially this goal, Otto was not in the equation for once. Didn't have the goal, didn't have the assist, and you know, when everybody from Farmingdale is punching up LA Tech, I mean, you don't even have a target anymore, Tugboat. You don't even have one singular player that you got to look out for. Good shot there from Easter from the ceiling. Just missed its mark.
Yeah, almost literally just created this one from nothing. Thought matter could neither be created nor destroyed. Well, talk to Easter. Neely, left side right here. Bounce plays, and Otto picks this one up. Got plenty of boost, and now the flick! Oh! Otto again. Otto didn't like us talking about him not being involved in goals, Pyro.
And they showcased exactly that on the match. The flip reset was just pristine. I mean, even when Otto is kind of showing their cards as well, because you'll look at the highest levels of Rocket League, players often get their flip reset by turning their car upside down at the very last second. Otto had kind of approached the ball from the underside and still was able to beat this defense. That's kind of been my criticism right now of LA Tech. You know, they're not reading the play as the cards are shown before them, and it's allowing Farmingdale to just run a clinic.
I was going to say, the doctor is in. Easter, once again, gets denied. It's twice now. Gets this one over Neely. Easter forced to play the defense now. Solid little hit. Neely continues the progression right here. Dirty Boy trying to cut a quick one right there. Style Point's a little bit too fast to really get the head onto that one. Progress. Now Easter up. Easter down. That's a shot over. Neely can't do anything with it. And Dirty Boy and the rest of Farmingdale go up now 5-0. Now this is still a best of 7, folks. There will be a game after this one way or another, but there's little light left in the lamp, the LA Tech squad.
It's burning out. The whole candle is turned into melted wax at this point, but why not burn a little more? I mean, listen, talk. Whether it's a kickoff goal, whether it's the last goal that happened, I can talk as much as I want about LA Tech getting outpaced, not being able to read the plays of Farmingdale. At this point, there's just too much to fix, it seems. You should never, I mean, conceding 6 goals in the first half, that's a lot. That's a lot, Todd.
The only positive thing that you can say about that one is that whatever happened in the first half can be undone in the second. You have enough of that chronological resource, that time, to go forth. Now, this is another example, though, that should have been communicated as far as passes. Eastern Neely. Fortunately getting demoed out there on the other side. They'll be spawning up on their side, not able to pick this one up. No, brutal. 3 shots, 3 goals. That's Otto right there. And Journey Boy making a case for themselves. Journey putting up 3 shots, 3 goals, plus the assist.
It's a lot of good stuff on the stat sheet here from Farmingdale. Been able to push their way to a very significant lead. I think the question almost starts to arise, will this be a perfect sweep? On that last play, they committed a lot of their resources. I think all 3 players to that chance on offense. So I could see the moments where they're vulnerable on defense in Farmingdale and give up 1 goal, but you've got to call it how you see it here, Tug. They haven't conceded a goal in 2 games and a half.
It's 13 minutes or so right now. I got blasted over the caster math earlier. Don't want to say that too efficiently. Oh my goodness! See, like it's plays like that that show me that LA Tech know how to get this one in. It's just like that bare edge of either a little bit too fast, not the right positioning, pass is not quite on, or they didn't like read out exactly where an opponent would be. So all these things have led now to 1, not 2, but 3 eggs, and I'm not talking about a good breakfast. Oh my god, that was awesome. So again, bare angles, man, bare angles. They don't like the geometry.
Listen, I'm following the narrative too, Tug. I mean, the shots, they're there, but the defense is ever more present. You can't deny it. Passing play goes intercepted. There, Easter, good interjection there. Just couldn't follow it on the sidewall. And what a pass from Journey Boy, linking up with Finest for the 8th.
60 seconds left in this game number 3. Not the last game of this series, by the way, folks. But we are looking at twice as many goals in this game 3 than we have seen in the rest of this competition up to this point. Again, 62 seconds left. Still looking. Turn that goose egg, that donut, that 0 into a breadstick, a 1 line, I don't know.
Something that shows some semblance of a point other than a 0. 50 seconds, they've got something, and who knows? It could be that fire in the belly that they need to turn this around in game 4, but it just looks like Farmingdale, you know, they're working their clinic that they have been. Ball there on the goal line. Style Points decides to control from the ground. I like this play. Drive challenge there from Neely, not past Finest, and well, there goes yet another opportunity away.
22 seconds left here. Farmingdale knows that LA Tech is not going to give this one up when it comes down to perfect sweep capabilities. So we're going to be trying this one out and denying that feat. And a feat it would be. We were talking. There you go! Passes and passes into points. The perfect sweep. If it is going to be a sweep, folks, it is no longer.
It's gone just like that. You keep your attention away for just a moment, and oh, how quickly Style Points can make you pay for it. That pass downfield where Neely was looking to cherry pick was pinpoint accurate. So well done to LA Tech. They'll get their first goal, and hey, if you can score once, you can score all kind of times, right? That's going to be the end, though, for game number 3. And I want to say this, Tug, because as I'm kind of putting my stats sheet to the side off of that tumultuous defeat for LA Tech, I'm remembering how we talked about, you know, it's going to be rough for whatever team moves on. They have to play Ball State Red, which is a number 2 seed in this 45-team Division A. I don't know if I'm as worried for this team of what looks to be Farmingdale anymore. I think Farmingdale, they look top form right now.
Yeah, this is the Farmingdale Rams. They're doing everything in a bag of chips to really, really put a name for themselves forward. Like you said, Ball State might be 2 seed. If I'm 2 seed watching the 18th seed, beat up on the 15th seed like this, I'm gonna be going through and watching VODs. I'm gonna be, really predicting or trying to pay attention to these passes and trying to how they set them up. Journey Boy putting up almost 700 points. Otto was 625. Just under 500 there for MC Finest. Obviously, this is the result of an 8-score game and whatnot, but still, the fact that they have 5 assists on this, like those first 4 are like truly earned, and I think that LA Tech more so just kind of changed the ideal to just trying to find something to avoid that the third game of a perfect sweep so far. 2-0, 2-0. These are easy to deal with. 8-0 is a different story, Pyro J.
It's a different story indeed, as that win was just commanding against LA Tech. So we'll see. Farmingdale, can they do it again in game 4? They're on match point to move to round 3 of Division A for ECAC playoffs here. I think another storyline that was kind of changed here after Game 3 was that, Tug, it's not really the Otto show anymore. This is not a player who has anymore 100% goal participation or 75% of the goals of the team. No longer is it like that. Otto didn't even get the MVP there.
Wow.
It
Okay.
looks like he's searching for it, though, in this potentially final game.
No longer 100%, which means, of course, Pyro J, that we are no longer automatic.
Oh.
So 24 seconds into this one. We're getting vocal and poetic with it, folks. Otto getting back involved here doesn't necessarily concern me whatsoever, because I think that LA Tech is they're gonna be fighting tooth and nail for this, right? We just saw exactly what happened when they kind of just put their heads down. The Rams put their heads down.
Oh.
Okay. Alrighty. Well.
I'll tell you this, Tug, if I ever expected a player named Style Points to score, it is exactly in this fashion. The kind of play you put on the highlight reel that, well, maybe is on the not top 10 instead of the top 10. But regardless, it's an equalizer, and we're back to a tie ball game.
Yeah, exactly. That's about as stylish as it gets, and as we know, style never dies, folks. That's right off the top. Like that is literally a perfect angles, just the other way. That does, of course, mean that that own goal right there. Oh, come on, Style Points. I wanted to quote the stat line. That player own goaling means they have scored as many goals against Farmingdale as LA Tech has, but Style Points doesn't like stats like that. Now we have a lead. We finally have a lead. Oh, I'm just seeing the message. That's what it is. So production said that it was the clean sweep up to this point, but now it's the reverse sweep, a perfect reverse sweep all the way through the other side. So LA Tech's gonna reverse sweep this.
Is that right? Is that right? You said that very convincingly, Tug, but yet somehow I'm not convinced.
Is that right? Huh? Okay, cool. I'll have to check my mentions.
Right. Well, who knows? Maybe there's more than meets the eye with this game. 2-1 it is indeed. Our first lead for LA Tech. And they've held on for quite some time. That ball from Finest goes right in Neely's hands, though. The front part of that Dominus. And what is this? An upside-down player of Finest almost just allowed the goal to go in. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable indeed. Journey Boy with a great back hit right here. What a bicycle kick for a reason. Got both wheels on that one.
Oh, he's back. All right. All players are back on their wheels, and they are moving. That's good to see. That ball left for Journey Boy, but there's a stonewall defense there for LA Tech. All 3 players on the goal line, allowing that ball to be seen away. Style Points next to boom it downfield. These passes have led to good chances for LA Tech. Neely, though, cannot get behind the ball. Otto with the third of a tank of boost is going to move upfield, looking for the pass there. It's between him and Finest, but they're going to collide instead of clash in a better way. Dirty Boy towards the net. Easter interjects, and I gotta say, LA Tech, they're standing up to the pressure here now, still holding on to their lead with half the game left.
Oh, Dirty Boy, I was about to tee off on that one. Home run indeed it had been, but 2:14 left here. Farmingdale playing from behind. The situation They have not found themselves in quite yet. A little bit of physical play as well. I got to say that is part of the reason why LA Tech has purchased themselves the situation. This would be tied if it hadn't have been for the own goal, yes, but a lead is a lead indeed nonetheless.
It's here as it ever was. Style points continuing to be a nuisance in front of that ball.
Yeah.
Neely, a lot of moves to work with, but the positioning's just not there. Rotating ball side. This is not a good situation right now for LA Tech. That positioning, that rotation has to get a little finer.
Oh, that stings me, I gotta say. Between Neely coming off the wall a little bit too hard, like you mentioned, ball side rotations onto this one, 101 seconds left. Just don't want to see the hope leave the eyes of the LA Tech squad. This is still anybody's game and anybody's series. Play the Rocket League game ahead of you. Otto, down. Journey Boy, up. Journey Boy. I feel like I'm saying that too quickly. Sorry.
I'll tell you what, Tug, if it's anything I do is I clash all the letters in a word together, so I'll never fault you for that.
I just feel like I'm... Oh, okay, style points. 3 goals, 2 shots. Love to see it. Love to see it. This is off the right corner as well, and that's just perfect angles right here. Otto can't quite get to it. Defensive plays from Otto not quite as flashy as the offensive ones.
This is the thing about Rocket League, Tug, is every single game it's a new clean sheet, and I think Style Points is approaching this game just as that, saying I've forgotten already about the last 3 games. This is a new game. We've gotten the lead twice now, and there's no reason why we can't get back into this series. Showcase that with the shot taking and just the sheer positioning as well to be ready for those opportunities. Finally fixing on so many weaknesses we've seen out of this roster. They're in the lead with under a minute remaining. They could do this.
Definitely can. I mean, no keep away games at this point with only a 1-score lead, but now a lot of defense there played from LA Tech the past 30 seconds or so, and it ain't over with quite yet. A foist over to the left side. McFine is diving in to pick this one up. Getting Easter a little bit of push from the back right there, repositions them and makes it so they can't quite. Journey Boy would have been able to play this had that been on point for goal. But now LA Tech Farmingdale has got to get in the offense if they want to put this down in 4. Again, I don't see that happening though. I don't know.
Well, it's close, I'll tell you that much. They've got possession here. Otto working this around the cage. Solid 50, but it takes it above the net. Finest off of the backboard, and Dirty Boy not going for the shot, allowing for the double commit. Here's the big push now. Otto does get deflected. Dirty Boy, not the loft they needed. Easter gonna keep the ball alive, though, as well as Neely. The original role of Rocket League being upheld at this time. Otto looking for Finest downfield as Style Points puts it to bed. LA Tech find their first in round 2 of playoffs.
Whew, and our predictions stay alive here, folks. That's hands down the most important thing on the docket right here.
Our dignity is our predictions, yes, of course.
Yeah, exactly. 3-0, or excuse me, 3 goals, 0 assists there for Style Points. All 3 shots made in. Assists coming in from Neely. Sole save there from Easter as well, and only a single save from the Farmingdale squad as well, from the Rams down here. Gotta say, a little bit surprising. This is just game 4 in which there are a lot less shooting capabilities, a lot less shooting opportunities on this one. McFinest as well, only able, unfortunately, to put up 25 touches on a ball. That's 50 points on this one. Gotta get a little bit more involved here, even if that's just in demos.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. We saw a team of LA Tech that was taking better chances of their opportunities. Remember game 1, Tugboat, where none of their shots were firing between the posts or under the crossbar. They were all over the place. They've certainly become more clinical in their shot taking, but I'm going to play with my cards face up here, Tug. We saw a different Farmingdale in game number 4. I saw moments where there were players upside down in the goal. I'm seeing Finest with 50 points. That is very not original for this player, or not what we would expect. So I want to see if we see a Farmingdale back to form in game number 5. If we do, I think that still poses a lot of problems for LA Tech, as those first 3 games were just about shutouts.
Yeah, I mean, the 1 score across 3 games right there. Not calling a consolation prize because LA Tech definitely earned that, but the simple fact that that's got to be part of the conversation should tell just how one-sided it was. Neely, big boost in hand. Looking to work with this, get something done, and flies through the air, and McFinus takes it away as easily as somebody can.
Ball's in a very dangerous territory right now for LA Tech, but Neely says, step aside, everybody. I've got this taken care of. 2 saves on the goal line as Style Points and Easter were still rotating back around. Had to really put the hero cape on there. Certainly did. Easter, shot denied by Finest. Had Style Points still worked with those inside rotations and cut into that shot, it may have linked up, but maybe this will link up instead. I'm not going to criticize Style Points' positioning. That player knows exactly where they need to be.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Auto taking this one, or excuse me, Style Points taking this one right out of Auto's breadbasket. Just straight up pickpocket. There has been a robbery. Highwaymen are on the Rocket League pitch right here, my man.
I mean, I think we're seeing a different play style from LA Tech. You know, after those first 3 losses, and I think only 1 goal at the very end of them, you notice that there is a change that needs to be made. And I think the biggest thing was that LA Tech was playing a little more scared Rocket League, right? Being undefeated and then having a team win game 1, win game 2. That's different territory for a team who's only used to winning and defeating their opponents. Now they're back into form. Now they're saying, you know what, there's no reason to play scared. We're going to put it all out on the field now, Tugboat, because even if we lose, we can say we gave it our all. That is changing their attitude in this game. They're getting to this ball much quicker. They're done being outpaced, and they're putting up great chances for themselves because of it. That play, though, breaking down as close as it was.
Shot on over. Style Points is able to get the back of the car onto this one, redirected over the left side. Dirty Boy there. Style Points stops a very dangerous rebound angle on the backside of his offensive performances from Farmingdale. Tries to again, and this is Farmingdale just straight up getting beat in midair right here. Neely starting this one on. Can't quite get the nose onto this one as McFinus takes this one across the middle. Giving this one up again. Yeah, both of these teams just kind of giving up possession like hot potato.
Well, there's no midfield presence or control right now for Farmingdale. All of their offensive chances, even in the last game, have been tried to work up around the corners, getting those passes and kind of just hoping that the defense breaks down from LA Tech. I get how that worked in the first half of this series, but LA Tech, they're a different beast now, so there has to be some creativity in the offense of Farmingdale. They may have to work this ball up Broadway Street instead of relying to the edge of this cage.
That's a really good play. We haven't really seen either team just try and, straight up run it down mid, as they say. And getting a little demos on the way, getting a little physical play on the way. Neely, though. Neely's actually gotten a couple whiffs in this game right here. This could easily be like 2 or even 3-0 right now for the side of LA Tech. Situation they so desperately would love right now. Right now it's just the 1. No real lead indeed.
Yeah, but you can see how LA Tech, they are reveling in this. They didn't know. This was foreign territory, being in the lead, but now after getting 2 lead changes in their favor in the last game, they're happy to see exactly where they are. They are comfortable in this setting of this 1-goal lead. Neely, a couple good touches here. Pass won't connect as Danny Boy gets that backboard defense to go. Pass goes over the head of Danny Boy. The look was there. The connection wasn't. And Otto can't get it. Oh, does get a touch on this fancy shot from LA Tech. Big defensive appearance there for Otto.
Yeah, this squad out of Louisiana not giving up this one so easily. Will not go quietly into the night. Might be down by 1. Or might be down by 2 in the series. Not playing like it. Love it. Absolutely love it. Pedal to the metal. The ball's against the wall.
Finest. That's got to be a bigger clear here. We've gone 4 minutes of game time. No goals for the squad of Farmingdale. If they want a chance at putting this series to bed, finally putting the lid, the cap on this match, they've got to get something to go offensively. But so foundational has LA Tech been to clear these shots away and deny each corner pass. Style Points may have teed this up for Dirty Boy, but Neely able to get in front of it for that moment. Ball back in dangerous territory. Style Points the first player there as Farmingdale will not give up on the play. Double tap denied by Neely.
Getting it done on defense, getting it done on offense, getting it done on defense yet again. Neely, that flat top really coming forward and providing a whole lot of defensive capability. It's the dominance for you, though, folks. Oh, that's not a good angle. Okay, that's even worse. Neely now puts this one in again. 530 points in this game number 5.
This was a true domino effect, Tugboat. It all began as the rotation between Farmingdale players collided. The Finest missed the touch, which means the other player so close to their teammate cannot react in time, and the reaction just got worse and worse as it went on. The domino effect continues, and the momentum is favored now for LA Tech. They get a third goal, style points. Beautiful read off the backboard, and we got a new team in the driver's seat.
Yes, we do. No subs in this one, just 3 players playing the Rocket League game ahead of them. I absolutely love it. 3-0 in Farmingdale. Now, little taste of their own medicine here, Pyro J. Little shutout.
Oh, shutout indeed. The defense holding strong for LA Tech, and I said it before, I'll say it again. I really don't think there's the adjustments being made from the Farmingdale side. It was the same strategy over and over again. I even saw there was one play where Otto had a chance to take it up the midfield and postured for an immediate slow 50 to put the ball back to the side. That's fine to continue the possession, but if you're seeing an LA Tech defense rotation that's staying very stoic, meeting all of those corner passes, there's gotta be some difference made.
Yeah, like, you have to get... I mean, it's just like we talk about with demos. You have to take something from a demo, and if all you're doing is you're on defense, you take a demo, and then you transition to offense, all you've effectively done is place another player on the other side of the pitch for free with a solid bit of boost in their tank. This just so frequently results in a defensive play on the other side and then just taking it all the other way. I have to agree with you right there. We were singing the Farmingdale praises consistently through games 1 through 3. That team is just simply not playing the same game, or they are playing the same exact game. They're not changing their game plan, and that's why we're looking at a completely different scoreline and a completely different situation coming into this. 0-2, 0-2, 8-1 into a 3-2, and now a 3-0 shutout. Pitched it in the last game right here, and we're going on to a game number 6.
Tidal wave has formed to change the tides in favor of LA Tech. And they're going to have to work for another lead here, as, you know, we talked about this in Game 4 when LA Tech could get themselves a win. It was because every single game is a new clean slate. Is that going to work now? Finally back in the favor of Farmingdale. Big couple of saves from Otto as he stretches for the first and lands right in position for the second.
Yeah, that was perfect stuff. Nice and limber. Spent that couple minutes in between stretching it out and was able to get the car to that one. Otto's got a trot. That was 2 whiffs. Oh, okay, I get it. They obviously thought that Otto was going to be able to get this one. McFinest thought that Otto was going to be getting this. Otto thought the same thing from McFinest. Hate to see it. The Reaper dabbed there at the end, 35 seconds. And LA Tech has not given up a lead in 3 games now.
I believe
like they've allowed this a tie.
Yeah,
but, I mean,
they did allow for 1 tie a couple games ago, but otherwise the leads that they have taken have stuck. So Farmingdale, especially after the shutout of last game, are gonna look for some offensive progression to be made. There were some beautiful passing plays that were conjured up in the earlier part of this series. That kind of cohesion may need to be seen in this game number 6. Yes, game number 6 already for Farmingdale to get back in this one.
I gotta say, once again, great job here to LA Tech, because that is not something I saw myself saying after that game number 3, game 6. Yes, LA Tech takes this. We'll be going down to a 1 and done here, people. McFinest, 49 over to the right side. Neely meets that there, puts it down in the breadbasket of Otto. That is not ideal. That was almost a nice little back hit onto this one, but Dirty Boy first to pick this one up. Nice fake. Neely's still there, though, while the ball is going so slow.
Across the width of the field, ball will go. Easter wanted that touch. Couldn't land on it. Like the way Easter is becoming more present in the game, though. That is the only goal of the game so far from that player. Hadn't been talking a lot about that particular man on the field, but hey, right there, Easter able to do it and continue to be a factor in this equation. Otto with boost. We'll be able to turn this ball away. And hold on, breakaway opportunity. Style Point's the only defender capable of the save as Neely is able to track back. And, oh, Dirty Boy, there's just so much opportunity there.
Like, goes in for 2 fakes. And then, well, sorry, 3 fakes in a row. The last one was definitely a fake. Otto and Style Point's almost getting mixed up on this. I think Otto might have actually abandoned the Rule 1. A little verbal contention there coming out from Style Points. Trying to nose up with him and gives it up.
Yeah, very controversial here in Rocket League to leave a headlocked situation between cars.
Definitely bad luck, too.
Ain't no referee on the stage. Yeah, could be bad luck for a player or a team, but yeah, there's not going to be a call on the field to work these players back in that situation. The ball moves on. We talked about it earlier. Talked about no timeouts, no nothing. Mid-game here, just bumping plays. Otto giving Style Points another piece of his mind there as he's bumping him on the goal line. Style Points able to escape it. We get along clear. Maybe a shot, too, towards the net, but saved by Dirty Boy.
Yeah, Easter, great job abandoning that one as well. They read that their teammate had a much better angle onto it. It would just simply going a little bit too fast to get anything done. It was a solid, honest shot. Slow and bouncing it may have been. Dirty Boy did a great job right there. Rotating around, gives it up to Easter right here. Otto forced to play the defensive role.
What a take there from Style Points. It was a really good look, just unfortunately for themselves target. Farmingdale, they've got it. Leaning into these shots, I think. We continue to see the fakes from Dirty Boy. We continue to see the second or third player from Farmingdale not go in for the shot, but wait for the clear of LA Tech. There's no waiting any longer. It is time to attack. We see that with the attempt at the bump on the last defender. Nearly able to escape that and save the shot, but Finest with the best opportunity that Farmingdale have seen in a while. They are on the board.
Yes, the 9-minute and 9-minute and 14-second drought is over. It is raining mana from the heavens. Farmingdale ties this one back up. We're 46 seconds away from a true OT situation. In a situation where LA Tech takes this, we're back to a one and done. Best of 7 boiled to a best of 5, boiled to a best of 3, boiled to a done and done. We'll see if that goes, though. If that goes, still anybody's game.
Not gonna lie, I'd like to see our first overtime of the series just to amp up the intensity, but Dirty Boy may not want OT. Almost a flick, but it just comes off the car, that Honda Civic, a little too lightly. Style Points, good angle, but Otto continuously a nuisance on the defensive line, denying some great shots at LA Tech. Single digits about to be on this clock as Otto puts this ball away once more. Dirty Boy climbs to the touch. It's a good pinch. Got some momentum there. Otto, good 50-50 as well. Dirty Boy back to Otto. There's the touch that could have been the last one, but Style Points puts the regulation timer to bed as we take it to extras.
Absolutely. Kickoff kind of won by them. Nope. Easter takes this one over the top. Almost finishes that one off with a slash. Finest down bottom. Dirty Boy up top. Otto going to be able to take this one initially. Easter to the left side. Otto immediately meets it there. Dirty Boy tried to get this one kind of bounced against the ground, maybe even pinched out to try and continue on that offensive pressure. Back to the middle pitch we go, though. Dirty Boy, left side. McFine down bottom, looking for a deeper. Finds one, a bouncing play, and that's going to be the cap onto this best of 7. That's literally all we need to see from Farmingdale this entire time. They like a little bit of drama. They like a little bit of extra Rocket League Pyro J. I can't blame them. Can't blame them.
Hey, so do I. The fanfare's there for an overtime in Game 6, but so is the win for Farmingdale. And again, you know, another play that didn't include Otto as much there. Farmingdale utilizing every resource on their team there for the win. A team that truly did earn it, but not the story we expected as the series went on here, Tugboat. I've got a much different perspective on LA Tech and this team that did go undefeated in league play. I'm glad that games 4 and 5, and even this last one showcased exactly what this team was capable of.
Yeah, and what they're capable of is just shotgunning different scorelines across this 6 games, right? 0-2, 0-2, 1-8. Where'd that come from? 3-2, and then a 3-0 the other way, right? Just literally giving it right back to them, and then down. Like, we have a 7-score differential game. We have a 1-score different, or 2 1-score differential games. We have a couple 2-score differential games, 3-score differential. This is all over the place, right? And these 2-0s are going up and facing, or the 2-score games are going up and facing against 0-score games. So it's just like, in any way, shape, or form, you can kind of like really pull out how one team is consistently ahead and just consistently, again, displaying their dominance over the other one right here. A fantastic time. LA Tech, 15th seed, drops to 18th seed. So an upset, but not an upset of like massive proportions. Only 3 differences there. The big upset will come if Farmingdale is able to do this against that Ball State squad in their next matchup, though, Pyro.
Yeah, a lot still to be seen out of that bracket because although the 2 seed of Ball State is expected, they face the winner of Boise State Club and LA Tech Red. So that LA Tech Red 34 seed could make a Cinderella story and make Farmingdale have to meet this squad again. We'll have to see as the action continues. But hey, just from me, Tugboat, tip of the cap to Farmingdale. This truly is a team, especially with Otto's caliber, that I expect making a deep run in the ECAC Division A playoffs.
Absolutely, like loads and loads of teams involved here, right? We're literally only round 2 of 6 with all the teams involved in the ECAC. Big shout out as well to Esports U, all the production staff here on the day. I want to let you guys know though, tomorrow Esports U2, that is the ECC Valorant Playoff Semifinals. So a little bit of a different esports action coming on there, and of course we're looking forward to those live competitions. That is the CECC, the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup. That is going down in Texas, folks. Yes, Made Madness. Going down in Texas. That is, yes, the Esports Stadium Arlington, a mecca, an absolute verifiable mecca of esports, people. That's going to be May 6th and 7th. And good news, if you can't make it on down to Texas, all this will be streamed live. Every one of these will be streamed live on Esports U's main channel or their secondary channel. Heck, they might be making some 3rd and 4th channels right there just to be able to cover everything, right? There's going to be a lot of esports going down right there, and we're not going to let any of it go uncovered. Folks, go on over to Collegiate SMG. That's collegiatesmg.com to find out a little bit more what they're doing, or their Twitter, socials, everything else like that. Speaking of socials, you can find Pyro J and myself right down there, and I think that's going to be about it. We appreciate you guys watching. We'll just have to catch you on the next time. Remember, Valorant tomorrow.
I can see
The Samus vibe. Show the controller to the camera. We're interviewing. This is recording, by the way. Surprise.
Not my controller.
Who do you play?
I play Peach.
Oh, wow, I like that. Who do you play?
I play the Shotos, mostly Kazi.
No, you lose against Kirby. That's just like a statistics thing.
Yeah. It's maybe.
This is a death match. I think they're all in the same one. They're all on Icebox. Are they all in the same death match? Maybe. Who knows? I feel like none of them can hear me. I want to like approach somebody, but no one can hear. They all have both their headphones on.
What's up?
How do we think we're doing?
I think we're doing pretty good. Yeah.
What's your KD?
We're looking at 10 and 6 right now.
Oh, hey, that's 3rd, dude. That's better than I expected. Who's bottom frag right now? I want to go talk to them. Ian? Hey, how do you think we're doing so far?
It could be better.
Could be better? You're one of those rough days?
Well,
Let's go find more people to harass. Yeah. Where's Boise State? Who's your favorite to play?
Oh, right now it's got to be either Chamber or Breach.
What country is Cypher from?
Oh, dude. It's Moroccan, right?
It is Morocco! Oh my god, I don't think anyone was gonna get that. Oh, you're good. Alright, see you later. Let's go harass Boise State more. Who is this? What school is this? Boise?
This is Boise.
Oh man, that's okay. Boise's still got really good odds. A Large Bagel, one of their tank players, Nerdy Bird, they're off tank, both of them not here. A little bit scary if we're being honest. Getting warmed up, getting ready to cast some players. No, okay, not cast, interview. Change your mindset, change your mindset.
Words.
No, but last words until we come back.
Oh, okay.
Because we're leaving.
Enjoy.
Oh, that was good, that was good. Anything from you?
How are you doing, Polly?
Awesome, thank you so much for your time.
That's why we're here, right? This is why a lot of people are trying to figure out, how do we replicate what you guys are doing? How do we, how do they do what you guys are doing to a degree, or why are you guys doing what you're doing to a degree? But to kind of, I think, focus in then a little bit more, I want to talk about gameplay a little bit before we jump into business and all of the other stuff. Jensen, this one's for you, right? I want to talk a little bit about this because to someone like me who's traditionally a League of Legends fan and all that, I know that you've been a coach that's been all over the world. You've worked with a lot of different professional teams and different regions. my question, I really want, I think a lot of people want to know, how did you end up at Maryville, and why like a North American collegiate college? What was the draw, or what brought you here? How did you get to this point?
When I first came to NA, I worked with the models, with the academy team, and I realized that there's a lot of cultural challenges that exist in that's very unique to NA and esports, right? Where there's this very interesting intersection, because in unlike traditional sports, in esports, players they don't start training with under a structure or a system or a coach from a very early age, which is what happens if you want to pick up any other sport, right? Like you start going to community events or whatsoever, and then you start developing your skills and your literacy of the game from the age of 6 or 7, and you're very used to working in a team environment, a coaching environment. But in esports and for League of Legends, a lot of times players they go up, they climb the ranks in solo queue where everything is basically self-taught, and then all of a sudden they need to be placed into a team environment. And I realized that the Asian teams got right, where they had these B teams. They have the B houses in Korea and Taiwan. You would spend almost close to a year just being a understudy or training partner for the team before you even join an academy team in the first place. And in China, they have like these massive B team systems with like lots of players in them. The moment you hit a certain rank on the ladder, they fly you in. You are then boot camping for a month there at the facility, and depending on how well you do, they then decide whether to retain you on as a training partner or as a trainee in whatever capacity, given how well you perform in those scenarios. So the West was very lacking in all of this, and culturally to do the same things and try to replicate the B house environment or what they do in China or Taiwan would not be possible to do. But the West has a very successful model of developing sports and talent, especially in America, when that is in the collegiate space. So I looked at this, I saw the resources that was available, and when then when Clerky pitched his vision to me, it's like, yeah, this is what I think should be the future for development in the NA ecosystem for esports.
Oh, right on. And I think, well, maybe let's follow up on that a little bit then. Because Dan, okay, so Dan, you pick up Jensen, you've got this going. I think that's going to be my question then is, or to any other schools that want to be competitive like you guys on that level, is this something that we should be expecting to see in the future, right? Is this now, the standard that you guys, Jensen, you and Dan, do you guys feel that this, if every college across the nation starts doing this, if they start, recruiting coaches like Jensen and trying to build this atmosphere, is this going to be the next standard, or is this something that's very successful that obviously it's proven to work, but is it sustainable? Is it possible for everyone, or maybe not everyone, but right, the greater sense of the industry and the ecosystem? How do you guys feel about that?
It's a dream of mine, obviously, to get to a point in the future where every university has an esports team that's taken seriously, and every day they report to practice. It's an improvement-driven mindset across the whole program. I think for me though, like the reason isn't necessarily like to see like a March Madness with millions of dollars flowing through it. For me, it's a little bit more simpler than that. The reason why this is my vision is just because it's best for player development and just players in general. What we see in tier 2 ecosystems almost across the industry, that's like below academy, I would say, like right before you, I would consider academy professional.